So it goes like black, countdown 10, 9, 8.
Imagine
You know what
lights
arenas does it.
imagine lights just start to dim and then come right back on. That'd be dope. Someday.
Facts. But man, what's the word, bro? How you doing, man?
Yeah, man, 8 months, can't call it.
Another day, another dollar?
75 cents out of taxes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome.
Welcome to Court and Culture, baby, where we get active here. Kahleel, how you feeling, man? How you doing, bro?
Feeling good. You know, I don't even think we got a chance to introduce ourselves, actually. You right, Court and Culture, this is what it is. I'm Kahleel.
This is Geramy,
That's
G-Money,
right. We here.
Germ, man, whatever you want to call me.
Let's go. Hats and shades.
Facts.
Oh, man.
But now, how's your week been, bro? How's everything been for you?
Man, it's been pretty good. Can't complain. I got a pretty good weekend. Actually went to Denver last weekend, so that was actually pretty fun.
That was pretty dope.
Can't complain. You know, had a great time, great elevation, great highs. Yeah.
You were high, huh?
Oh man.
You were high off the mountain, high off the tree.
Man, both. No trees. There was trees, but I wasn't on top of the trees.
Well, there was a lot of trees as far as like the geographic.
Oh yeah, for sure, man.
Definitely a lot of trees there.
For sure. I mean, the sights were amazing. The weather was amazing. I definitely loved the atmosphere. Just the simple fact that, you know, all day long it was great weather. It wasn't too hot.
The people were dope too.
Yeah, it's pretty.
The
pretty
people were dope. People were very nice. What did you think about that college town, Boulder?
Boulder was nice.
Boulder was really nice.
Boulder was very nice.
There was like a gang of girls in one of those days. Pray to God, those shout out to girls. Hopefully they're old enough. But there was a gang of about 74
Maybe not
girls.
gang. Maybe gang might not be the best word. I'd probably say there was a group of
Group
girls.
is an understatement, I would say.
A large group, very large group.
There was a once in a lifetime group.
Once in a lifetime group for sure is definitely. How about yourself, man? How was your week?
My week was eventful. I can't complain, bro. We're midway through September.
Sir, we are.
We are 1 week closer to NBA basketball.
Cannot wait.
Yes, sir.
I know you guys can't wait because honestly, I mean, it is football season. Nothing against football for the people that love football. We love it too, but we don't know much about it. So it's going to be strictly about NBA and all things basketball, court, culture, all kinds of things, basically. But essentially, I mean, what we starting off with? How we doing?
What we got on the schedule, man? How's it looking for today? It's a
lot,
right?
Got a jam-packed schedule here. We got, we got Clippers and Kawhi Leonard. We're going to cover that a little bit. A little bit more about the Clippers. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons.
Oof. Again?
Yeah. We're going to talk about Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons, the man.
We got the Warriors. We're going to dive into a little bit with Curry, Butler, and Draymond, the future, what's going on with them, and Kuminga. Then we're going to step over to the East a little bit, talk about the New York Knicks. A couple of off-season.
Shout out to the Knicks, man.
Yeah,
They're doing their thing.
We got a couple of off-season pickups, so I'm excited personally as a fan, but, you know, we're going to cover that too as well. Next way, we're going to go down to South Beach in Miami. Talk a little about what's going on down there in Miami in the 305.
Not much, man. They got Andrew Wiggins, and that's about it.
Hey, we gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Atlanta Hawks, we got next. What's going on with them with Trae Young, Ice Trae, picking up Porzingis. That's going to be interesting, as well as Nickeil Alexander-Walker. That's something that we're going to talk about a little later. And then moving on to the West again, we got Dallas Mavericks, as you guys all know, drafted Cooper Flagg, #1 overall. So that's going to be pretty exciting to talk about, see what he does for that team and going on in. And after that, we're going to go over to the Timberwolves. Minnesota Timberwolves. We got some pickups, I see. They just picked up re-signed Randall and Naz Reid. So want to definitely dive in on that and see how the move from having Nickeil Alexander-Walker move over to Atlanta, see if that's going to switch some things up, maybe clear some things, maybe some people that might actually pick up some more scoring. So we'll see.
I'm curious to see what Atlanta does over there.
Absolutely. And then we got, obviously, we're not going to just talk about just the NBA. We're going to talk about EuroBasket, the BAL, which if you don't know about the BAL, it's Basketball African League. It's another league that the NBA also owns. And then we're going to talk about the Big Three and as well as the WNBA. Yep, that's right. Women's basketball. It's actually pretty hot.
It is pretty hot.
We're going to talk a little bit about that.
WNBA.
WNBA Playoffs is going on right now, so we'll talk about that. EuroBasket, the Big Three, and then obviously, the last part of their name, court and culture. We're going to cover the culture piece of it. So it's going to be some things surrounding whether it's going to be about music, fashion, or if it's going to be something about politics as well. We're going to talk about and cover. To the politics fashion, we're going to talk about things about the culture and society, such as like ICE, secure communities, programs such as that. And then to tip it off, we got 3 questions that we're going to ask. And then I guess Geramy here has got to surprise question that he's gonna
I
ask
definitely
me.
got a surprise. Really controversial. You guys got to stick around for that one.
So-
I'd love to see Khalil's opinion on this. I'm gonna go hard on Khalil regardless. So pause.
Pause on that for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. But now I'm gonna be definitely giving my opinion on that. So stay tuned. But first, I mean, I know you mentioned early on. And can you lower the music too, real quick? There you go. I know you talked about early on, man. I want to get straight to it, bro. With the Clippers and Kawhi, I mean, I want to see overall your take on that whole situation. I want to know what you think about this whole, what is it, hidden money or aspiration money that they kind of hid away for Kawhi. What do you think is going to happen to the Clippers? Do you think it's just a fine that they'll be able to pay, or is it something where, because they kind of bent the rules there, so they kind of like.
That's what I'm hearing, man. I'm hearing a lot of bent the rules. I mean, who doesn't bend rules? It sounds like in the NBA. It's more stuff that we always hear about, always things changing. I mean, the West is interesting. The Clippers going on right now with this and Kawhi. A lot of things in question. I think they said 100 million is in question right now, as far as like what's going on with that.
Well, he also has $100 million left on his contract.
Yeah, that's what
So
it
it's
is.
50
Contract obligations. That's right.
but then they've taken the time right now to kind of, I don't know who in the Clippers organization is doing this, but they're kind of exposing how they feel about Kawhi. From what I'm seeing in the internet, they no longer want him. They no longer want to deal with the drama and the headache that it comes with. So interesting enough, you owe this guy a credit card bill of money, but
now you got to
also
understand.
talking-
I mean,
talking
Kawhi
crap.
Leonard, he's also an NBA champion. You know what I'm saying? So like, what does this franchise do with them? Like, I mean, obviously they got James Harden still, Ben Simmons. They got a couple of players that are still over on the roster, but Kawhi Leonard being a big piece. What does that look like now with this money that's here or there? Does that really affect how they go into the season coming up, or
the money part doesn't necessarily hurt him as much as the drama. So it depends on what the NBA wants to do with him. I personally feel like if you really want to penalize or hold this team accountable, you'd have to go back. You'd have to go back into time and kind of remove whatever pieces they were able to acquire through this bending the rules thing. So let's just say.
So how far back does that go then? Because at one point, SGA was on that
When
team.
was the last time? I guess when was the last bag they gave to Kawhi?
Ooh.
And that would from that point on would be where they would have to go back and be like, okay, who were you able to acquire through bending the rules for Kawhi? But interesting enough, I don't think that it would affect the way that their players are playing the game. I think it would affect the admin level, the C level for the organization, but it's not going to affect the employees as much, in my opinion. But man, I really like one of the things I want to talk about through it all was like Kawhi coming back last year, playing 32 games all season, and the Clippers going 17-4
Yeah,
in
not
the last
bad.
21 games of the season.
That's not bad. I mean, it goes to show that having Kawhi on the actual court, I was about to say field, on the court, that it is essential. I mean, when he's healthy, he's definitely going to be making some noise for sure. Now, the question is, how long can he stay healthy for? And then now with these looming questions about the money situation, it's a lot going on there.
That's a good point.
I don't know if that's going to be taken into effect when it comes into the season. I don't personally think, because these players, they get paid so much. I think more so now it's going to be more tuning out the noise with social media. I think right now, I mean, Kawhi's, if I'm not mistaken, I saw on social media that he's actually doing a little tour over in Asia. I think he was over in doing some things. So
Looked like he was going the Wemby route. The Wemby, yeah. I mean, so yeah, they owe him over 100 mil, but Kawhi in the second half of the season averaged 26 points, 7 rebounds, shot 52% in field goal range.
Hey, or 50%, that's not bad. Second half, they said too.
You're talking about a very dominant player. You're talking about a headache. But overall, I think Clippers are going to have to put up with this situation if they want to even come close to a chip. I don't think they're going to be able to do it if they shake up that roster right now.
So what do you think? You think they move on from Kawhi?
No, I don't. I think that's the topic or the conversation that people are talking about is, will the Clippers move on from Kawhi? Should they move on from Kawhi? Me personally, should they? No. Will they? There's a possibility, right? There's always that possibility of them going to. I just don't feel like Kawhi Leonard has done anything to warrant that trade. That was up to you guys.
Really?
Besides not playing,
Wait.
not being available.
But I mean, not being available wasn't really necessarily his fault. I mean, injuries happen all around. A lot of great
Besides
players.
that, I can't really call much drama that we're hearing from Kawhi besides him not wanting to talk.
It also part play that he doesn't really speak much either. He's a
I
pretty
like
quiet individual as well.
That works for him.
It does work for him for sure. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, we haven't really seen a very healthy Kawhi. So I mean, I'd like to see the Clippers do something good for the organization. They just got that new stadium not too long ago,
Right.
or the arena, I should say.
Right. They're
went out to
dishing
it.
out money.
Yeah, they definitely are, which
They're
is another thing to talk about with all this money is coming from where it's going. But I mean, the arena is nice, it's beautiful. I mean, they got a little thing separating from previously before being the Staples Center, which is now being moved, now called actually the Crypto Arena, I believe, or Crypto Center, one of the two.
Crypto.com.
Yeah. So I mean, I think this is something that it's gonna be going into the season, but if I'm the Clippers organization, they're gonna have some people, lawyers, all that, deal with all of this.
That's what I mean. Yeah, I don't think it'll reach the
They'll have an investigation, but this is something that's either gonna get not necessarily pushed under the rug, but if there's something that has to be laid out later on, maybe. But I don't think it's gonna really play a huge factor or role into the season to start with. I think really the biggest thing when it comes to like the Clippers is gonna be the Ben Simmons.
Ooh. Ben Simmons.
Oh,
what
man.
you got with Ben Simmons, man? What's the latest news? Ben Simmons is like a hot pocket, dude. That guy is out. It takes 2 to 3 minutes to start a conversation about that guy, and you can go on forever. But
Look,
what we got going on with Ben?
I'm not gonna say anything really bad about Ben. I'm just going based off what I see. I don't have the stats pulled up in front of me right now because I know he's. I've actually seen and read apparently that
Not that hard to get his stats.
He's up there. He's done some things. But in my personal
I
opinion,
actually heard from some people commenting in some clips that we posted. Man, a few people had a few interesting things to say about Ben Simmons.
a lot of people actually took his side, which is surprising.
Someone reminded me he was Rookie of the Year. He was an All-Star.
What year was that? Rookie of the Year?
I don't know. Probably the year no one else got drafted.
Oh wow, okay, makes sense.
Yeah. I don't know. He probably was in a draft class by himself, but he was Rookie of the Year. He made a few, if not a few, he made one All-Star appearance, and he won. He has a few defensives, I think, or something like that. But either way, they corrected us on some of his stats. Personally, I still stand on the fact that Ben Simmons should probably look into getting into a new career. But I don't know, man. What's your take on that?
I mean, before we beat him up too much, I got his stats pulled up here because, I want to make sure that, while you guys fact-checked us, I'm going to make sure we fact-check ourselves as well.
Yeah, go for it. Let me see what we got.
So, it looks like, came into the league 2017, as you mentioned, Rookie of the Year. I'm not too sure. I don't have it pulled up in front of me who was in that particular draft class. But obviously, if you guys don't know already, he was drafted by Philly, so Philadelphia 76ers. Started off 15 points a game, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, almost two steals a game. So, solid numbers.
Average?
Average, about almost 16 points a game. So, coming off your rookie season,
and his field goal percentage, does it give it to you?
It says field goal percentage was 54.5%.
All right, not bad.
That's not bad. Not bad for a rookie.
Really good.
Not bad. And it looks like it went up from there.
Also starting at a 6'10" point guard, so we're
exactly.
going to give him that.
He was a little bit of a question. We didn't know if he was a point guard or if he was going to be a power forward, so they kind of put him in at point guard because I believe they obviously had Joel Embiid at that time too. Yeah. So it just made more sense.
That's pretty good though. 2 big bigs on the corner.
Yeah. So
big point.
They had it, but as you can see, like it didn't work with the seasons that came and went. It didn't work for them. He played 81 games, looks like 2 years in a row, 2 seasons in a row, not bad, 34 minutes. So he was up there. He averaged more points the next season after about 17 points, 16.9, so around up, 17. About 8.8 rebounds, 8 assists. So the points were there, but I don't know what happened after year 2019. He's at...
Is that year 3?
18, yeah, year 3. He's at 18 points. He's got 7.8 rebounds. He's got 9 assists.
So he's creating a name for himself. And
he's
year
doing
3,
something.
is he's still...
Year 4. Now we're getting to year 4 is where he took a little bit of a... Not much of a drop, but he dropped down to 16, so 16 points.
What's his minutes per game in year 4?
34 again. So his minutes did not change over the 4 years. Actually, over the 5 years, it didn't change. When he went and got traded to Brooklyn, he actually went down even more. Went down to 7 points per game.
And how many minutes?
He was at about 32 minutes a game. So
so his minutes
never... 2 minutes down.
His minutes
went down by 2 minutes.
Yeah, did not
Didn't
change
really go
much.
down.
And then we have a drastic drop in his points. Okay, so it was the culture switch from Philly to Brooklyn that kind of
Which at that time, there were a couple of things that happened. I mean, obviously, they had Blake Griffin on Brooklyn. They had James Harden, Kyrie Irving, KD. There was a lot of things going. So you could probably argue that maybe he didn't get as much
So when you say a lot of things happen, you mean a lot of good things happen.
good things happening, but not apparently for Ben Simmons. So that's where my thing kind of comes into question with, I mean, do we keep Ben Simmons, a player like him, in the league still? You know, essentially, in my opinion, I think we said in the past, he's basically robbing that industry of money.
Yeah, he's just leaking it.
He's got all this money, but yet he's had injuries. He hasn't averaged over 20 points a game, which, to be honest, be realistic with you, dude, you're 6'10". 6'10". I mean, you got to be averaging at least 20 points. I mean, you started off hot, and at some point, I'm not saying if it was an injury here or anything, but went to Brooklyn and then just really crashed out.
If you don't see a change as far as
never
game
averaged
played,
over 10 points a game when he played with Brooklyn, and that was for 3 seasons.
which is sickening, dude. And I think he got hurt 1 year.
Oh, I lied. His final season with them, he at 10 points per game.
How many games played?
He played 31. No, I'm sorry. He played 10 games.
Exactly.
So he averages about what he played. So it's not very much, you know, in my opinion, a bust.
Yeah, for sure a bust in my opinion.
Definitely a bust. I mean, his highlights here with 3-time All-NBA, NBA All-Rookie, first team 2017, NBA All-Defense, second team in 2019, NBA Steals leader in 2020. Wow, I didn't know that one. And we obviously know the Rookie of the Year 2017.
That's what it was, steals leader in a year.
I mean, if I'm looking at these stats, they look nice, but I've seen way better.
For sure.
I've seen better with the less height, with less class.
We've never gotten to see a 6'10" point guard.
There's been a couple. No, I mean, the tallest one I can think of that comes to mind, you got Magic, obviously, back in the day.
I mean,
but if we're talking about current, let's stick with current. I mean, tall point guards right now, you got Cade Cunningham, you got Tyrese Halliburton. They're pretty tall. Not 6'10".
Tyrese is like 6'7".
They're definitely up there. We're not talking about short like a Trae Young or maybe like a Jalen Brunson or obviously, you know, Steph Curry.
I get it.
Average height. So the guy's a tall dude. He's 6'10". This guy should be putting in some work, pause, but he should definitely be driving to the paint. Okay, he may not have a shot, but something's got to come. Like we got to get something
going. Yeah, no,
something going on.
As far as Ben Simmons, man, he is extremely concerning as far as on the basketball court. I would pass. Just like his.
So I mean, the big question is, I mean, what do you do? Does he retire? Do we reinvent Ben Simmons, or do we relocate him?
I mean, if you want to reinvent him in your bench and see what type of coach, or see if he's a nice guy or maybe a competitive guy for your practice.
Maybe let's be a little realistic here, Jeremy. What do you think? I mean, if we're being ideal, he's a 6'10" athlete. Okay, yes, I get he's not been really showing up to the stats lately as of the past 3 seasons. But if we're looking to reinvent him, what would you do? How would you reinvent a Ben Simmons? Where would you put him? What position?
I'll be honest with you. I think because his ego is too big, I would want to put him as a small forward.
Small forward, okay.
But because his ego is too big, I don't think he would be okay with playing the bench. I don't think he'd be okay with getting minimum.
So we're saying
minutes.
that he's moving down to a bench.
He would have to play bench, yeah.
So we're going with a 3-time All-Star. We're saying he's going to the bench.
Yeah, the bench has hosted a lot of great players, bro.
And you know what? I agree with that. I think he can make a great 6-man.
Bro, the bench has hosted one of the best players I've ever seen. I mean, we got Pat Bev. We got
we'll get into Pat Bev later.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later.
But we got Pat Bev. I mean, you got some phenomenal 6-man that made some great. You have Jamal Crawford. Actually, I was thinking about him. Pause.
See who else we got. We got a couple of good ones out there. I can't think of them top of my head besides really
Golden State has had some significant 6 players throughout their championship run.
That's true. They had a Dante DiVincenzo, if I'm not mistaken.
They had the guard,
Buddy Hield. Who are you talking about?
No, back in Livingston.
Sean Livingston.
Sean Livingston.
So they had a couple of different guards as well. But I mean, I don't know. My point being is that there's been so many great guards for a man who's 6'10", at probably maybe 230, 240 pounds, probably, maybe even more. To not be at least averaging 20 points or doing something more, or even getting into the All-Star game for that physique, it's just a bust for me. It's not. I don't think it's going to work. I mean, you can probably reinvent him, put him to the small forward position. I agree with you, but I don't know if he's going to want to do that. Yeah. He's a great 6-man role. That's my opinion. He's a role player at this point now.
And he would have to go into a phenomenal team as well. He's not going into a rebuilding team.
I don't even know if a phenomenal team would do it for him. I mean, at one point he had KD, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. He couldn't do it with that 3. I mean, granted, they weren't all healthy at one time.
He would have to, again, come off the bench in that team.
Exactly. So, I mean, at this point, he's going to be Ben on the bench. That's what it is. And then if we're talking about relocate him, I mean, right now he's over at the Clippers, Los Angeles. You got James Harden again, Kawhi Leonard. Where would you relocate him if you could, and a team would?
If I could
Where are you putting
relocate
him?
him, and this is not gonna be a favor, this is not gonna
I
be
know where
one
I'm
that
putting him.
people are gonna like, but I'd like to see him in Phoenix.
Phoenix.
I'd like to see him in a rebuilding team, in a rebuilding process, where he gets to have an input as to what type of environment he wants. And when I say he gets to have an input, I don't mean he gets to say. I mean he gets to perform, and people, and then the leadership team would put players around them that fit that type of team.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think he's in no place for him to be choosing his own
Phoenix
team.
isn't too bad. I could see that. Maybe Devin Booker with Ben Simmons, and I think they got a what's his name, Jalen Green. They picked up from Houston.
They got Jalen Green.
I think the problem with the Phoenix thing though is that they don't have a point guard. I mean, do you think he would be a good point guard for that team?
No, absolutely not. I mean, if he
he probably would be the only option.
He came
honestly,
in as
if
a
they
point
did that.
guard. He came in as a point guard.
So
he has to have ball handling. He has to have, like, that has to be in his bag.
I personally haven't seen it myself. Maybe if we're talking about 2K for the 2K fans out there.
Yeah, I mean, not necessarily like Kyrie, but he has to have some type of control. If Draymond Green can bring the ball up the floor, Ben Simmons can bring the ball up the floor.
I don't know. Ben Simmons it's a little bit. It's hard to figure that one out. I mean, I've seen some type of dominance in the paint with him, but as far as ball handle skills, I haven't really personally seen it. I guess I'm gonna have to pay attention a little bit to see. Hopefully, if he's healthy in the season, to see if he's gonna do anything. If pay attention to that ball handle skills and see if he has any. But I haven't seen it personally.
We'll check it out.
If I relocate him, if you ask me personally, I'm thinking Hornets. Have him out there with LaMelo Ball, put him down in the position where he needs to be, not in that center position, not in that point guard position, but actually put him in that maybe power forward position, maybe even honestly center.
I'd love to see him do some pick and rolls, bro. Some athleticism.
Yeah, pick and roll with a LaMelo Ball. I think that'd be something ideal. Now, my personal opinion on Ben Simmons, I don't think it's over for him, because to call him trash, it's hard to say he's not trash. Yeah, he's pretty trash. He's pretty trash. He's pretty trash.
I was waiting to see what you're at. I was waiting to see.
He's pretty trash, man. We're going to have to throw that one in the trash.
We can definitely move on. I mean, I know we mentioned Golden State a little earlier, but I'd like to see your takes on that. That Curry.
That's your team.
That definitely is my team. I'm standing with them 1,000%, man. I got enough rings with them that I could count. So,
you was on the team with them, huh?
For sure, man. I ran a couple of them parlays, man. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Warriors. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with them. They have a pretty veteran set team right now, considering the fact they got Curry, obviously. They have Draymond Green with the defense, and then they obviously just picked up Jimmy Butler.
Correct.
Now, last season, they picked up Jimmy Butler halfway through it, and they did a really good job. They had to fight some injury issues, obviously. I think offseason, maybe fell a little bit downhill, dropped the ball a little bit, not picking up anybody, maybe getting some help for the veterans.
I agree. They had 0 acquisitions in the offseason.
It could mean that maybe the organization, and we're not talking about Steve Kerr, it could mean that the organization itself maybe believes in those veterans to lead the team. It's going to be hard in the West, but they're a little bit older. Age isn't always a factor, but in this case, when you have the way they play, Curry, he's more of a three-point shooter. You got Jimmy Butler, he's in the mid-range. And then you got Draymond, who's going to lead defense. So someone off the bench is going to have to come out and give me 15. Maybe
so what do you
18.
think about that Kuminga situation? What do you think about Kuminga
That's someone
being
that
in
I'm
the air?
thinking that's going to need to step up. He's going to have to come
Well,
in.
he hasn't agreed yet. So they did offer him some money, but he has not agreed yet. But
I don't know. I think Kuminga, he's been on that team for some time now that he's probably letting it get to his head and like the amount of options he has. Because if I'm Kuminga, I've been on this team since I think they drafted him, if I'm not mistaken, didn't they?
They did pick him up, yeah.
So if I'm on this team, basically has showed me loyalty. I mean, the media has said so much about him as far as his ups and downs. He showed a significant, increase in his scoring, but then he's also showed the significant decrease in his scoring. Yeah. So he's very inconsistent when it comes to him overall. So the Warriors probably have some questions about maybe re-signing him. I don't know why he's got this whole hold on wanting to stay, because honestly, you have to think, if he doesn't sign with the Warriors, what else is he going to do?
I think he has this whole hold of wanting to stay because he knows, or he has a feeling that after Steph Curry leaves, he'd be the next he'd be the next franchise player.
Okay, and then what's wrong with that? I mean, dude,
It's just he's having trouble accepting the
wait,
bag that
man,
they're
you
offering.
got to sink or swim. All right, you came to the fucking NBA to fucking sink or swim. You didn't go and play AAU league and all these other leagues that they have out here night after night to just come and play in the NBA and say, all right, you know what? The star is gonna be retiring soon. You know, I don't want to be the star. Fuck out of here. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Like it's time. You got to step up. Now it might be a couple big shoes to fill. We're not asking you to be a Steph Curry and go pop up threes, but we need you to step up in your role and maybe get some more scoring and be more consistent on there.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree. I think Kuminga needs to understand his role right now. He needs to understand that there's a captain on the ship right now, and although he is a young potential that could be something for the organization when Steph Curry steps down, I think he needs to wait his turn, and humbly just like accept whatever it is.
He can learn from those vets still.
Yeah, I think you know what. I'm sure he's going through media training in a lot of aspects.
I think he can learn. I mean, adding Jimmy Butler and I almost kind of drifted off a little bit, but with the trio with Draymond, Jimmy Butler, and Curry, I think it's gonna add a lot to the Warriors team. Having Jimmy Butler for a full season now, we're going to be able to see them off-season practice together, in-season practice together, play in games together, and actually get more of a chemistry. And it looked like they actually already had chemistry.
Yeah, and you look at the team that they have around them. You talk about the Buddy Hields. I mean, I can't wait.
I almost forgot about Buddy Hield.
You can't forget about that guy. That guy shoots the shit out.
I think they had a whole Batman and Robin thing between him, Jimmy Butler, and him. Which is
dope. I love that because it gives them their own identity. It allows Steph Curry to
kind of gives you like a, I don't want to say it like a OKC identity with the whole barking and stuff they got in the camera and just how young that team is, but it definitely gives you that chemistry that you need, that aura in a sense to essentially kind of get the team going and kind of get away from getting punched in the face.
Talking about that, man, I kind of miss Jordan Poole in a lot of ways. I think Jordan Poole would have done some good work right now with what Golden State got going on.
Man, Jordan Poole, I mean, that is, I think he's on Pelicans now, if I'm not mistaken. He got traded from the Wizards. Kind of a side note here, but yeah, so it's interesting to see what could have happened if he would have stayed, obviously. I think he would have been, honestly, possibly named an all-star if he would have just kept doing what he was doing, but, who knows?
It was some tough shoes to fill when you're surrounded by that many all-stars.
I mean, the Warriors have always had some great shooters. I mentioned Dante DiVincenzo that used to be on the team before that. I mean, Poole was a great shooter, and I think right now in that role they got the Pod, if I'm not mistaken. Podinsky or something like that. Podinsky. I gotta correct the name eventually, but I believe they got.
That is correct.
I believe they got a couple.
Everybody that comes into that organization either comes in with a good shot or develops a good shot in that organization. That's why they were even debating getting the Celtics Al Horford, which I'm not a big fan of at all. That's like adding a Chris Paul to that team.
Yeah, I agree with the Chris Paul. But I just feel like Al Horford is a. He's just an older player. He's definitely going to be on the bench. He's not starting, that's for sure. But I don't think that would really add a dynamic to what for the Warriors, right?
Correct.
I don't think that would add to the Warriors. I mean, yeah, he can shoot a couple of threes in there for sure. But I think what the Warriors really need, considering the fact that they are a little bit of a smaller team, Draymond, he can run the center position, absolutely. But it would be nice if he can go back to the 4 and playing the 4 and have ideally a big man to rely on in the paint. Yeah. Because for a team that is going to shoot threes and shoot mid-range with Jimmy Butler on the team, they're going to need someone to get in the paint.
Can Al Horford play the center role right now?
He plays the center role right now, if I'm not mistaken, for the Celtics. But, I mean, I don't think he's ideal to play the starting center role for the Warriors, especially you're talking about the Western Conference now.
Right.
Western Conference is an animal.
I'm not a big fan of Al Horford. I think Al Horford can stay where he is at right now.
I mean, before we actually move on, what do you think about the Warriors? I mean, my question is, you think they're a playoff team or are they now a play-in team?
No, they're a playoff team right now, and I guess people are gonna say I have a bias here, but you cannot argue the fact that they have obviously or arguably the best shooter to ever touch the court.
So you say the Warriors are going to be top 6? I
believe the Warriors would definitely be top 6 teams in the West right now.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to have to disagree with you, my friend. I'm going to have to say they're going to be a play-in team. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a bit of a struggle. I'm not saying they're going to not make it into the playoffs, but I think they're going to make it into that 7th seed for sure, only just because the West is hard, man.
The West is hard, though.
The West is a difficult...
None that takes away from that experience, dude, and that team dynamic, that team chemistry. and I just see Golden State giving this last run from beginning to end. I feel like they're gonna give it their all. It's not gonna be one of those like, hey, we're gonna make the playoffs. We already know it. Nothing counts until the playoffs. I believe Golden State is gonna start hard, conserve Steph Curry, and the old cast, Draymond Green, whoever else they add that's older, conserve them, but allow their younger and bench guys to really perform, bro. I do not believe Golden State will go into a season allowing with and not make any trades, like keep the same team they have and just go on a losing streak.
I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, one could argue that they could be the only team to not acquire anybody going into this new season and actually go pretty far. Which could be something to be said.
There could be a reason to that, for sure.
So you're right. They could be leaving that core team. They already did what they believed they needed to do with Jimmy Butler from last season, so maybe they just don't need to move on.
Yeah, so we'll stay tuned to that for sure, and that'd definitely be a good something for us to bet on, man.
Yeah,
to
definitely.
See if they're a playoff or a play-in team. That's
Okay.
good. But
All
moving on, man, to your favorite team, dude.
On to the East Conference. We're going to move on to the New York Knicks.
Yes,
and
sir.
just to give you guys a heads up, we're not going to just talk about the Warriors and New York Knicks all the time. We'll talk about much more teams, but bear with us. But yes, the New York Knicks, they had a couple of off-season changes right now.
Talk to us, man. What they do?
Unlike the Warriors, like your fellow team there, they did make up some changes. New coaching. They picked up Mike Brown. If you don't know Mike Brown.
That was my most favorite thing they did all offseason.
Tell me why you like Mike Brown.
Man, I told you, man. Mike Brown is a legendary coach. I told you off camera. The guy did outstanding with Golden State as an assistant. He also did outstanding with the Cavs.
Somebody say you might be a Knicks fan this season.
I mean, Knicks. I got a place in my heart for the Knicks.
Come on,
I got a place in my heart, man.
You can't be a fellow New Yorker and not
New York,
be
man.
some
Look,
of a
man.
fan.
Air Force Ones, man.
Oh, come on. I see
we from
it.
New York,
All
man. We
right.
get
You
it
already
done,
know
man.
what it is.
You see what's around us, man.
You
It's
already know
culture.
what it is.
It's
The
culture.
culture is there. Yes,
It's culture.
But yeah, Mike Brown, I like the guy. All right, he's a good coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach. And what he's done, I think my favorite, his most dominant task, or I guess the hardest task that he had was with Sacramento, and his biggest achievement was with Sacramento. What he was able to do with that team, that young organization, and what he was able to create out of what's that guard's name?
De'Aaron Fox.
De'Aaron Fox. Always forget his name, but dominant player. He gave us a hard time. Run for our money that playoff.
Yeah, he definitely did with that Warriors and Kings series. That was interesting. I'm not gonna lie. I was a little scared, but you reassured me that come on, man.
But how do you feel about Mike Brown, dude? What's going on?
Honestly, I like it because what you just mentioned with the run that he did with the Sacramento Kings. I mean, he brought energy and fire to that team, which is what honestly, I mean, the Sacramento Kings.
I feel like
when's the last time we saw a Sacramento Kings that fired up?
Hey, you remember the times where Mike Brown almost got kicked out? I think he did get kicked out the games a few times. That's the energy New York needs.
Exactly. So I think it's going to bring fire to the team. I think he's also previously coached LeBron James, which not to say that, being a coach of LeBron James, I think it was assistant if I'm not mistaken. Not to say that, because he was with LeBron James, he's great, but that just shows that he definitely had experienced players that he's been around that he can potentially bring to the New York Knicks, which I think they honestly need right now. They got great players, great talent.
Yeah, he's going to allow those players to be themselves.
Yeah, I think so.
Those players are going to be...
And Brunson's dad's still on the staff too as well, so I'm sure there's going to play a little bit of a role as well where they're going to play off each other. So I'm excited to see what the season's going to look like having Mike Brown. I mean, he seems like he's a solid guy. He previously won Coach of the Year, if I'm not mistaken, as well when he was with Sacramento Kings. So
he did.
I think it's going to be good.
You guys added a few players as well.
Yeah, we did. By the way, kudos to Tom Thibodeau. I mean, your time is done. Unfortunately, you did a pretty good job for us, but we need someone to take us a little further.
Hey, don't let the door hit you on your way out, big dog.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate your services. Kindly make your way out.
Make sure you guys give him that last check, boy. Give it to him in cash, man.
I'm sure it's on the way with the thank you letter right now as we
Give it to him in cash. But you guys did add Clarkson.
We picked up Clarkson, and we also picked up Yabusele. So Jordan Clarkson from the Utah Jazz, a pretty sweet pickup. I mean, he's a great dynamic player, which we previously talked about six-man players. So he's a great six-man player. I think a great addition. He can throw some defense. He's also going to give you some offense when it comes to the perimeter. He's going to give you some three-point shooting. So I definitely like that because previously, as you guys know, maybe not, Dante DiVincenzo being one of the leading three-point
Minnesota
for the Knicks. He's now with Minnesota, so I'm hoping maybe they mix some things up, get a little more three-pointers in the game, not just have everything rely on Brunson and maybe even Mikal Bridges because he's not really a 3-point shooter with that, in my opinion, ugly ass shot, but whatever. And then we got obviously Gershon Yabusele. I know I said that right because I practiced it many, many times. But he's the guy that dunked in LeBron James in the Olympics. So pretty another dynamic player. He's gonna give some athleticism to the team.
Is that his only highlight?
Not necessarily. I mean, he gave us not a run for our money, but there was that one point in time when Joel Embiid was hurt. I mean, always.
Yeah.
And he was in the playoffs, and he did a little thing over in the.
I would love to be a bench
series.
player for Philadelphia. Actually,
we're not gonna talk about Philly.
You get
that's not in this. Time. That's not in this podcast.
Yeah, I heard Kendrick Perkins call Jalen Brunson big body Brunson.
Oh yeah, that's.
What you think about that, man? I think he earned the name, boy. I think he earned the name. Pause.
It's an interesting name, Big Body Brunson. Pause on that. But, I mean, it just goes to show the type of player that he is. I mean, he's not afraid to get in the paint from someone of his height and physique. He's not someone that's going to, shoot threes.
Reminds me like AI, bro.
Yeah, he is. I mean, minus the fact that he doesn't really have bunnies like that. He's not going to really get up and dunk on you. But he's definitely going to have his float game. His layup package is up there. I mean, ideally, in my opinion... He has
no regards for defenders.
In my opinion...
He has no regards.
I think he's probably the Knicks franchise player for sure.
Yep.
And he's probably by far their best point guard they've had since maybe Walt Frazier, Mark Jackson, maybe even... what's Buddy's name with the tattoos on his head? Stephon Marbury, maybe.
Stephon Marbury.
And they've had some good ones.
Player, yeah, but I think this run right now that Jalen Brunson is having...
Jeremy Lin.
Big Body Brunson, yeah, Jeremy Lin had a good season, but Big Body Brunson is having. I think it's not matched. I mean, yeah, you can go all the way back to Wilkins, but I think this is their time. I think I'm a Golden State fan, in and out, but I want to say that I'd love to see what New York can do right now.
I think it's definitely their time because right now, we talk so much about the West. The Eastern Conference currently is pretty much wide open, and what I mean by that is, you got Tatum who's got an injury recently, so he's probably not going to be into the season too much. Maybe
that's the other thing. Jalen plays.
Maybe
Jalen plays with a broken arm, broken wrist, broken leg.
We did have that one season, well, actually two seasons
where he's getting hurt, but he wants to play. He wants to play.
He wants to be out there, but he's got to show. She's got to show that if he wants to get the chip, he's got to show everybody. He's got to show up every night. He's gonna have to play every night.
What do you feel? Yeah, so you're getting into it. What do you feel like it's gonna take for him to show that? Is it a regular season thing? Because he gave it all he got in the playoffs.
I think it's not going to be just a Brunson thing. In order for Brunson to do what he needs to do, he's going to need his team to be able to support what he does.
You got Cat.
And what I mean by that is Cat already told everyone that he knows that, quote unquote, that Jalen Brunson is the captain of the team.
Yeah.
So with the team knowing that he's the captain, I think that just allows your best player in your team to make the best decisions. And the only way he's going to do that is by putting him in the best decisions. And by able to do that, Cat's going to have to come in and do what he does.
Cat better fucking hoop, dude.
Man, let me tell you, man. I think they call him the Big Bodega, if I'm not mistaken. Well, Bodega, you better move
that Big
the fucking
Bodega
feet.
better be open 24/7 like a New York bodega, bro.
Yo, let me tell you.
I need him to hoop.
But before we get too far off, what Brunson needs in order to really succeed is a team is going to need to be able to carry him as well. He's going to give you his points. He clutch player of the year last season, so he's going to get you his points when he needs to. But we're going to need players like OG to give the best defense he's ever played of his career this season. We can't half-ass. We're going to need him to also score. We're going to need him to be a 3-and-D player, which is what we got him for, which is why he's one of the highest paid players on that team. We're going to need Cat to stop being a bitch in the paint and actually start playing some defense. You're 7 foot. I need you to actually put your fucking hands up and do some shit. So outside of the scoring that we're going to get from Cat, I just need to see defense from him. Mikal Bridges, he's consistent, but I'd like to see his points to go back up. From the trade from the Brooklyn Nets to now the New York Knicks, his points actually went down per game. And granted, you got Brunson who's going to be scoring. You got Cat who's going to be doing a lot of the scoring as well. Points might go down, but I think he only averaged about 16 points, maybe 15 points per game when he was coming off of a career high at 19, almost 20 points per game.
Yeah, I think he should stick around the 18, 19s.
So, yeah, if I can see him at an 18, possibly 19 points per game, that'll definitely give us what we need because he's going to give you the defense. You saw that nasty block he did on Jason Tatum, or I believe Jaylen Brown in the playoffs last season.
Yeah.
So the team is there. Mitchell Robinson, I need him to stay healthy, no injuries. He's probably going to be on the bench, but that's fine. He may come off the bench. He may be on the bench when it comes to rotating him and Cat. So I think that's going to be a dynamic duo there as well when it comes to the front court. The backcourt is where you're going to need a lot of help, and that's where you have players like Jordan Clarkson that comes in.
Yeah.
Dare I say, Campaign come in. You got the rookies that are now not rookies anymore. Tyler Kolek that's going to be there, and then you got other players that, forgive me if I didn't name, but that just are going to need to step up. You got Miles McBride, Deuce. He's going to need to step up and be a little more consistent with the three-point shooting. So the team is there. They got players input. They have a bench now because I think one of the reasons why they lost that Pacers series both years is because they didn't have a deep bench. I mean, when you're running a roster rotation of 7 compared to a roster rotation of 10, it's common
You're gonna
math.
run out of gas.
It's common math. You're gonna run out of gas. There's only so much the players can do. So I think now having a more dynamic bench, a more versatile bench, you should even say as well. They got pieces to put in play. And then I don't know how I forgot, but you got Josh Hart. No pun intended, but he's the heart of that team.
Big, yeah.
He's the biggest small guy I've ever seen. I mean, he's getting you boards every night. So I think to answer your question, that's what he's gonna need. He's gonna need each one of his players to come in every night and actually show up and show that, hey, you know, this is New York. What Cat did when he played that one team, this is new fucking York, and this is what we got to do. This is where we need to be at the top of the map.
Yes, sir.
And I think they got the team to do that. I think this is definitely the year. This is in my opinion, the only year to really do that.
They got a few years in them, but this is definitely that year, especially with the last.
With
2
all the
years.
injuries they got with the East, I mean, you got Jason Tatum out, you got Tyrese Halliburton out, you got Damian Lillard, who was on the East but now back on the West. So a lot of players that are out right now, and then you got Tyler Hero just recently announced that he's doing surgery, so he's not going to really be doing anything for the start of the season for Miami. So there's not too many teams out there that are going to really give the Knicks much pushback. But this needs to be the year that they show that the teams that are in that top ranking that they can beat. Last season, the Cavs were a team that was hot.
Yeah.
They're still healthy.
Yeah.
They're fresh. So they got to prove that they can actually beat the Cavs as well.
Yeah.
Other teams that are up and coming, Atlanta, they picked up Kristaps Porzingis, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. They got to show that as well. But a lot of thoughts there. But I personally think the whole team needs to just have an A-type season in order to really make things go.
I feel like it's fitting right now, being that we just touched on actually our favorite teams, our favorite players, to bring out the blind question.
Oh.
This was the blind question that I have for you.
What? What question is this?
So I remember there was 3 questions that we put together. But I feel like this one is definitely fitting. I'd love to see.
I think
your
you should
take.
save it. I think we should. You sure you should?
It's fitting. It's
all
fitting right here.
Go ahead, toss
It's fitting definitely because of the fact that we're in the heat of both of our favorite players' conversation.
Okay.
But would you rather a current Jalen Brunson, or would you rather a Steph Curry in his prime? On your team right now, today, if you was picking a guard, a starting guard, who would you put? Would you put Jalen Brunson, prime time right now? We're talking clutch player of the year. We're talking playoff run the way he did, shooting the ball like a freak, bringing the ball into the hole with no regards of defense. Or would you rather Steph Curry, the lights out machine, in his prime when he was doing phenomenal things, unbelievable things, quite frankly, doing things that have never been done before? It's definitely a fitting question, my boy. Ha
I mean, I want to answer the question ideally. I mean, I'm sure the fans would all be say, Steph Curry, obviously, dumbass. Like, that's like the best answer because Steph Curry in his prime, he's giving you 30-plus points a night. But you can argue that Jalen Brunson can also do that as well.
He could.
For you. Now, obviously, there's a height difference there.
Not much.
Not much. 6'2", 6'3", maybe you could argue the same, maybe the same
6'3",
height,
yeah.
possibly. But I don't know. The thing about Jalen Brunson, I don't think I've seen his prime yet. He's shown that he's gone season over season. He's scoring more and more from Dallas to now being on the New York Knicks. He's scored more season over season. So he has untapped potential right now that we haven't really seen. So that's hard. I mean, obviously, I'm a big New York Knicks fan. I love what Jalen Brunson is doing for us, so I'm a little biased on this. But Steph Curry is that guy. And then you also have to figure what he's going to do if he were on that team in this specific situation, if there was a swap.
He doesn't have his team.
He doesn't have a Draymond, so but he has an OG, he has a Mikal
But he has a
Bridges.
shot. He still got a shot. You can't take that and his layup package away from him. But you got it. But of course, you would rearrange his players.
I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to say Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson. I mean, in my opinion, dude, Jalen Brunson is definitely. When I thought about the question, it was a hard debate in my mind. Objectively speaking, I believe there's an argument there to prove. Like you said, Jalen Brunson is only getting better. He's only proven to be getting better. Steph Curry had unbelievable seasons in his prime.
And one could even argue that honestly, Steph Curry hadn't even reached his ceiling. Honestly, one could argue that if he maybe had KD for a little bit longer, who knows what he would have done?
Who knows, right? Yeah.
Maybe he would have gotten another. Maybe he got an MVP before, right? He's had an MVP
for sure. He's had. Well, actually, I wouldn't say for sure. He got
MVP,
he got one. He got one in season.
So maybe he would have gotten another. But I don't know. There's a lot of potential that could have happened there, and a lot of what ifs on that. But I don't know. Brunson he's still a young guy. He's showing me season over season that he's going to be putting his team on his back, and he's definitely that guy. And what he's done for that organization is kind of similar to what Curry's done for his organization. He's turned that franchise around. That's a great question, but I'm gonna have to stand by Brunson because he's still young. I haven't seen his full potential just yet. I know it's there. He's definitely at that peak right now, but I think I could see more around Brunson, and I'm gonna stick with Brunson on this one.
Okay.
I think I like big body Brunson for this one.
Okay. I mean, that definitely is a favorite there. And I want to say, I want to correct myself. Steph Curry has 2 MVPs in his career.
2 MVPs, okay.
And that was in that 2014-2015 season.
Okay. I mean, you can't. I'm not disrespecting Curry in any shape or form because he's
hard to.
He's a Hall of Fame in my book personally, but man, Jalen Brunson is different.
I agree.
He's different. I mean, he's doing things that people say that shouldn't be doing at his height and size, honestly. He doesn't fit your normal size for a point guard. Most point guards usually at that size, like a Trae Young, for example. I mean, Trae Young, you see what he does in his bag.
Cold. Yeah, he has to be that. Yeah,
he can shoot from deep. Yeah. Jalen Brunson's not that kind of guy. He's shown that he's a different point guard altogether. And then you mix it up and you have, for example, a Tyrese Halliburton. He's got that really funny shot, but he's leading at one point in the league in assists at one point.
Yeah.
So I think I'm going to have to stick with Brunson. I like seeing Brunson. He shows that even if you're a shorter guy in the league, that you can still do something. And it doesn't matter. You can still rely on just the basic fundamentals of basketball, and that can still do something, which I personally like. That's why I think I like Brunson so much, is because, yeah, he's not shooting threes like maybe like a Curry. Maybe he's not got the handles like a Ice Trae Young kind of deal. But he shows that at a point guard position that he can do what he can do at that position, and it doesn't matter what height or size that he is. So I think he's definitely.
That's fair enough. I think that settles that argument there. I know earlier you mentioned Tyler Hero being hurt and him, that being an impact to Miami, but I did want to touch on briefly on that Miami Heat. What you think their future is looking like?
Sorry, what did you say?
They definitely have an opportunity that they can work on. But what you think about Tyler Hero's? And give him a break, dude. Give Tyler Hero a break, bro.
Look, man, we just came off of the Knicks talk, and now we're going over down to the hot ass.
Come on, don't kick them when they're down, Miami. Dude. Don't kick them when they're down, man.
All right, you're right. I won't. I mean, Miami, they're definitely not doing anything this season. I'll tell you that much. They're going to be a play-in team at best.
At best.
At best. But I mean, with Tyler Hero being down and out in the first start of the season, it's definitely going to hurt them because I can't really see who they're going to go to as their scorer.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins. He ain't having no girl problems this season. We could see some things coming out of Andrew Wiggins, man. Hey, in Golden State, he was,
Why did he get traded?
Yeah, he was emotional.
Okay.
And now if you can tame that emotion.
He's in South Beach.
Yeah, we just got to keep him away from the beach.
It's not. It ain't the beach I'm worried about, man.
Bring the sand to his beach.
We ain't worried about the beach with this one.
No, but what you think about Miami overall? What changes do they need, man? Do you think they need to let go of Pat? Do you think they need to acquire some players? I think for instance, I'll give you an example. The Mavs, anticipating for Kyrie Irving being hurt, they added D'Angelo Russell. So, they're making moves to try to fit in for that injury. What is Miami doing, or what should they do
I mean, I'll be
to look
honest with you.
forward?
Miami currently, right now, they've always been an organization that show that they can go into free agency and they can actually bring some talent in. So it's potential. Maybe they can do something like that again, but I don't know. This time around, so late into going into the new season, I should say, not late, but going into the new season coming up here, I don't really see Miami doing very much. It's going to be very hard for them. They're going to have their players doing, call it basically overtime in a sense, because you got Bam Adebayo on that team with Triple J. You still got Kahleel Ware on that team as well. So he's a dynamic player, 7-footer as well at the center position. I think they got Terry Rozier.
I like Rozier. He
Davian
just got to
Mitchell,
step up.
if I'm not mistaken. So they got some people there that can maybe do some things, make some plays, playmaking, some shooting, but no real all-stars.
Do you think they should make any changes with leadership?
I'm
Pat
sorry.
Riley, is it time for
Bam
Pat Riley to pack
Adebayo's
it
an
up?
all-star. I'm sorry.
Bam Adebayo is an all-star, yeah, but he's also on the other end of his career. We can agree he's not that it factor anymore.
Yeah, I don't want to say he's not that it factor, because if you take Bam off that team, they're trash. Like, even more trash. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, for sure.
So
I mean,
having him on that team is definitely a dynamic.
He's like a pillar. He's like a
He's
pillar.
a pillar,
He's
absolutely.
a pillar.
But he's not going to be the guy that's going to be able to keep the team going. And sort of what I mean by that is that, for example, Bam, the position that he plays isn't a comparison to, like, for example, LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
Both great all-stars in what they do and with the position that they play. But if you have Bam out there, he's not going to be leading the team in scoring.
Yeah, he wants the
most
crumbs.
likely.
He's not necessarily going for
He's going to be banging in the paint. He's going to definitely get you your rebounds. He's a great defender for sure, and arguably could probably be a defensive player a year.
You can't depend on him.
But I don't know if he's going to be that guy that's going to get you those buckets that you need every single night for 82 games and then going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah. You're
going to really need someone that's going to be in the backcourt to help you. And with Tyler Hero not really being in that backcourt and available right now, it's going to be rough. So I don't know. I think it's going to be a rough season, but personally, I don't think they're going to be making it into the playoffs. I think right now they're going to be looking into making some changes, looking into maybe getting into the next franchise player for Miami, because unless they bring in some talent to help out Bam Adebayo, maybe someone from the West Coast. Personally, if I'm someone on the West Coast, a player that maybe isn't excelling on the West, I'd be thinking about trying to go to the East to teams that...
I think that might be a good pick for Kuminga. And, he is on my team, but if
partner up with Andrew Wiggins,
Andrew would go cry together. You guys can cry a river.
That'd be interesting to see. I don't know if that's something that they'd want to do.
Maybe they turn it. Maybe they
You think Pat's going to want that? You think Pat's going to take that?
I don't know. I don't know if he wants two crybabies on his team.
Because he had Jimmy Butler, and you saw where that led.
Yeah, but I think Jimmy Butler is a real cry wolf. Like, he will keep crying.
He's been on different teams over the years, so I mean, who knows? Who's to say that if Kuminga goes there, Pat can, kind of, so to speak, instill some type of greatness into him or a sense, or couldn't we say that is Pat Riley era? Is that like done? Should he move on? Should he retire? Or what are we thinking? What do you think?
I mean, Pat Riley is a big part of their culture. So
that heat culture.
Yeah, if he moves on,
intoxicating.
Yeah. No pun intended there. But if he does move on, the question really is it going to shake in Miami too much to where they won't find an identity for themselves? Because they still need to attach themselves to whatever identity they believe in. I just don't, like you said, I just don't feel like they have their key players or the key players that they need in order to make a good run. You mentioned they're going to be at best a play-in team. Yep. I agree with you. I don't see him being able to give us more.
I mentioned the word earlier, intoxicating, and it could be a good or bad thing. Take it however you want. Intoxicating in the sense where they could be intoxicating for teams' offenses. Honestly, their defense is pretty. They have pretty good defense.
Yeah, but in an era like we're seeing it now, where people are shooting the shit out of that 3-ball.
True.
And you can't guard it.
True.
You can try all you want to keep a team under 90 points a game. you may be able
In
to
this
do
era,
it
keeping a team
sometime.
under 90 points a game is almost
It's
impossible.
nearly impossible.
Unless you're maybe the Detroit Pistons of the 2023 season.
You're talking about Detroit. That's going to be a competition for him.
That's
You're
true.
talking about Atlanta, which
The Knicks are run
is
for their
coming
money.
up next. Is definitely somebody for them to worry about. Can they get over that Atlanta hump? So there's a lot of what if for
Being that
Miami.
said, I might have maybe changed a little bit because, there's not too many teams in the East that are really powerful up there. You got the Cavs, the Knicks, Pacers, maybe, potentially. They're not down and out, but they're going to be hurting without Tyrese Halliburton. Pascal's going to have to step it up. But, you got, like I mentioned, Cavs. You got the Knicks, the Pacers. Miami could probably fit in there because, Detroit's still up there. Detroit's not really, I wouldn't say a powerhouse team, but they're definitely going to be top six, I would say, in my opinion, but given what the Eastern Conference has out. And I wouldn't be surprised, little curveball. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot Atlanta. Atlanta will be up there too. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Charlotte Hornets up there, honestly.
Yeah, it's about time for them to have a good season, for
I
sure.
mean, if there's ever a team that, I'm sorry, the Orlando Magic. I don't know how I forgot about them. That's terrible of me.
They're
I'm sorry.
quiet. They're a little quiet. We gotta let them rattle up a little bit.
But you know what? The East, the East right now is definitely in a pivotal moment where they can actually, since they have such young talent, they can make some strides. They can make some noise. I could definitely see a lot of young talent, Paolo, Jalen, Brunson, not necessarily young, but younger, one of the younger talents. LaMelo Ball. I think even Lonzo's back too. I could see a lot of those guys actually having a turning point for their team. So we might see a shakeup when it comes to the normal teams that are up in the top six when it comes to the Eastern Conference.
I'm curious to see how that looks, man. And moving on to like the next team, I know we
talked
mentioned
about
a little
Atlanta.
bit early. Yeah, a little earlier. Atlanta. They've added some good picks to their squad. They have some things going on, but what you think about that Porzingis, man? Do you think that'll be a good help for Trey?
I'll tell you one thing for sure. I'm damn sure happy that he's out of the Celtics because I hated seeing him over there. I feel like he was just there for no reason, but whatever. He got his chip. Whatever. Kudos to you. Fuck you. Now he's over on our other rivals. He's over there with the Atlanta Hawks, and I'll be honest with you. As much as I'm a little upset that he won a chip without the Knicks, not for the Knicks. I think he's gonna do some things with Atlanta. Personally, I mean, given if any player stays healthy, obviously, but I think
what if
having him over there with Trey Young, it gives him somebody as a lob threat. He may not be jumping up there every night, but he's definitely gonna give some paint awareness, and he's also going to give you some perimeter threat as well because he can shoot three as well.
I agree. He can shoot the shit out that three.
So I mean, there's gonna be interesting dynamic with them two. And if I'm not mistaken, they picked up Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which if you didn't know who that was, he's actually cousin of SGA, MVP coming off his season.
I didn't know that actually.
Yeah,
until we looked that up. Until we did that.
Yeah, fun fact about that is that their moms are actually sisters. So they're actually first cousins.
Yeah, I did read something about them being like 56 days apart.
Yeah, something like that, 52, 56, some shit like that. So
so pretty close in age. They grew up together.
Both Canadian born. So I mean, I'm curious to see what maybe this will do. Him coming off of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I'm curious to see what he's gonna do coming over to the Atlanta Hawks.
And
again,
East.
Another player from the West coming to the East. That's some would say a little crippled right now. For a lack of a better word.
Yeah. So I think I think as far as his stats go, he averaged 9 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, with 25 minutes per game. Not bad for a role player.
Was that 82 games? 82 games?
Yeah, he actually played back-to-back 82 seasons. So we're looking at somebody who's reliable. I mean, definitely not your Mikal Bridges and what we expect from him.
What's funny about that? He played 82 games, a guard, 9 points per man. He's looking like Ben Simmons numbers right there, minus the rebound,
minus the pay too.
Interesting.
Minus you don't have to pay him $100 million.
Some would probably argue is Nickeil better than Ben Simmons?
For sure. Huh. I wouldn't debate that.
Interesting.
I would rather Mikal Bridges and his offensive foul finagles and stuff. Like I would rather
versus Ben Simmons is interesting. But speaking of the verses, actually, did you hear about that Patrick Beverly and Trey Young beef?
I've been trying to look into it a little bit. Fill me in, dude. What the hell's been going on there?
So apparently, I guess Patrick Beverly was throwing shots at Trey Young that the only significant reason that he thinks that he's not really significant as a player with the Atlanta Hawks. He thinks that he hasn't proven anything. He thinks
Really?
that, yeah, apparently he thinks that, even though he's brought the Atlanta Hawks, and you can look this up and just to check this out, but the amount of times that the Trae Young has brought the Hawks to the playoffs compared
That's
to how
their
many
franchise
times.
player.
I agree. I agree on 1,000%. So, Patrick Beverley's taking some shots at him and basically saying that he shouldn't be talking about him because, he's been to the playoffs multiple times as well
Oh,
and is
this is what
also
it's
a
about. It's about
veteran.
what I did versus what he did. Okay.
I mean, if you ask me personally, I think, and I'm not obviously, New York Knicks fan, so Trae Young being public enemy number one, I don't think you got much to say about Trae Young. I think he like you mentioned, he's the franchise player. Without that player on the team, they don't really do much.
No.
You take Patrick Beverley off a team, they do a lot.
I mean, we've seen Patrick Beverley go to a lot of other teams, and the team that he just left didn't do so bad. I think Patrick Beverley is an amazing
European
player.
League right now?
He is in the European League. Shout out to Pat Bev. He's doing his thing. But what I mean is, like, Pat Bev, we've seen Pat Bev move around, and if he claims to be that much of an impact, we don't see the team that he just left have a crazy bad season.
I agree.
I mean, with the exception of Philly, but they've been struggling for a while now. My take on that whole situation is Pat Bev need to sit the fuck down on that one. I strongly believe Trae Young is their franchise player. I strongly believe that if given the chance to, I don't think Pat Bev would be able to be the franchise player for Atlanta Hawks. Who am I to say? We didn't play any professional basketball, but from a viewer standpoint, you're talking about ice cold Trae and a very solid defensive six man and clutch players, you could say, with Pat Bev, but
Who's a solid six man?
Pat Bev.
Oh yeah.
Pat Bev. Yeah, that argument is non-negotiable. Pat Bev, sit the fuck down where you need to sit down at and let Trae Young do his thing.
So we're getting to sit the fuck down on that one. So I got the stats pulled up here. So in case you guys didn't know, weren't aware, the argument is essentially about, I'm assuming, how many times one's gone to the playoffs and scoring, yada yada.
And finals, I guess. Does Pat Bev got a chip?
Man, I don't know how many chips. You're gonna have to look that up. But I have stats pulled up here. Patrick Beverley, we're averaging about 8 points per game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, about a little over 1 steal a game, a little under half a block. Field goal percentage is about 41. 3-point percentage is about 37, and free throw 76. Now I want you to keep an eye on those numbers, okay? 41, 37, and 76. Trae Young, field goal percentage, 43. Trae Young, 3-point percentage, 35. Free throw percentage, 87 for Trae Young, 76 for Patrick. So he is beating him in 3-point percentage currently, it looks like.
Pat Bev is also not, doesn't take as much threes and also not sought after. So he's not the main player of this team.
But wait.
So people are not defending him.
There's more. We do have Trae Young at 25 points per game, also at 3.5 rebounds, considering his height,
Correct.
Shorter than Patrick Beverley, and also averaging almost 10 assists a game. So one could argue that not only is he scoring for his team, but he's also facilitating for his team.
For sure.
Which is leading to more scoring.
Also drawing a lot of defensive players, which allows his team to be able to move and perform at their level. So I think Pat Bev got it messed up. Yeah, he's the person you pass the ball to when I'm getting triple teamed. So you have a wide open shot. So you better have a better 3-point percentage. Every time I shoot this ball beyond the arc, I'm getting guarded by 2 people. It's a little bit more challenging. And I'm taking more threes than you.
I agree. So to get you some context on that a little more, so what sparked the feud apparently is that Patrick Beverley commented on social media that all-stars take the game for granted. When it comes to all-star game, contrasting it with the intensity seen in the summer pickup runs. So, Trae Young, four-time all-star, responded by telling Patrick Beverley, relax, and let current stars speak for themselves. So essentially throwing a shot at him. And Trae Young, he's always running his mouth, but he's got the game to back it up.
Yeah, he has the right to.
The exchange escalated through Beverley's podcast and social media, where he questioned Young's leadership, claiming that the other NBA players dislike playing with him in Atlanta. And then obviously they just went back and forth, and just kind of essentially who's better than who did better for what team.
So with that, I would say that Pat Bev is in every right to have an opinion about how all stars are acting or performing or taking things serious. I strongly believe now that I hear the narrative, I strongly feel like Trae Young took something a little bit too personal. It's that old saying, if the shoe fits, wear it. Because if you would have heard any other player saying anything as well, then then it would have been like, okay, that's a general feeling you get. But being that it was only Trae Young coming out of the woodworks, I feel like it was more personal. And I think caught Pat Bev by surprise, but that warrants Pat Bev to be Pat Bev. So that's where he goes with this whole comparison game of like what he's done or what Trae Young has not done. Ultimately, if you ask me who's the better player, who would you rather on your team, who makes the biggest impact, it's Trae Young. If you tell me, and I have an opportunity to pick a role player in his prime, a role player like a six man, I'm definitely going with Pat Bev.
Okay.
Right. So everyone has their own lane.
So the argument is definitely valid. I think it's just personally that Trae Young's honestly just responded back. His feelings got a little hurt. Patrick Beverley, being the veteran that he is, it's kind of like a, hey, like, young kid, sit down. Like, grown up is talking, like, and he responded, didn't like what he said, and now they're just going back and forth essentially. And it seems like basically Young actually fired back with an 11 to 12-minute video arguing that Beverley is seeking attention and pointing out Beverley's own lack of individual accolades and playoff success, especially as a secondary player on his team. So it's a lot of back and forth, basically going at each other's
I saw the
stats and
thumbnail
careers.
of both of them. It's so funny. I watched them. I don't know if you got to see the videos. They both made, I guess, that type of video where it's like responding to each other. But they were funny enough. My bad. They were showing off their house in the video, in the thumbnails. So that was pretty funny. Like, what the hell is Kahleel doing over there?
Don't want the iPad to die in the middle of the podcast. That wouldn't be good. We'll cut that part out. I mean, yeah, back to really with the Atlanta situation and Trae. I mean, and Porzingis coming onto the team, this whole beef thing. I mean, do you think that beef with Patrick Beverley, does that play a role going into the season? You think that's got into his head?
It'll light a fire. No, I won't get into his head. It'll light a fire on the Trae Young's ass, and he's gonna go.
Where do you put the Hawks in the East?
I think they're a playing team.
Playing team?
They're a playing team, yeah. Right now, you got some competition. I mean, unless they can prove to be better than Detroit, who I think that's their competition for that playing role. Mm-hmm. We're talking 7, 8 seed, 9, and 10 seed. They got to focus on Detroit.
Okay. All right. So we talked a little bit about the East. We're going to go back over to the West again, talking about the number 1 pick overall from last season.
Cooper
from the draft. Cooper Flagg. So right now we got obviously Dallas. They picked up Cooper Flagg in the number 1 overall in the draft last season.
They picked up D'Angelo Russell, I believe, also.
Yep, picked up D'Angelo Russell, and then Kyrie also did re-sign a 3-year deal. So that's gonna be pretty exciting to see. That shows that they obviously once again believe in the core that they currently have. They have this new, which exciting. A lot of people in the back probably say it's kind of interesting how Dallas somehow got the number 1 pick, but that's another story. But
so they're sold for it.
It's interesting. Yeah, they sold something for sure.
Hey, shout out Jason Kidd though. That's my favorite player coaching with Dallas Mavericks.
I'm happy to see that he's still coaching there too, honestly, especially with all the turnover going on in the NBA with coaches. So it's good to see that he's still there, doing his thing.
He's doing a great job.
Especially after the whole Luka thing getting traded. I'm sure he was pretty bummed out about that. So I'm excited to see what Dallas is going to do. Kyrie obviously still an injury with the ACL. But he should be back, hopefully. I'm hoping maybe, not I'm hoping, but obviously all fans of basketball hope to see Kyrie back because, we want to see him on the court.
Yeah, it'll be a while, though. But they did also they also kept P.J. Washington.
They sure did.
And I believe it was Gafford.
Yeah, Daniel Gafford, which is dynamic at defense.
Yeah, that's a good, that solidifies definitely for sure their front court. I think Dallas is looking pretty good, man.
You think that's enough, though? Don't forget, again, they got Anthony Davis over there now. I mean, obviously, he's coming off another injury.
Yeah. No, I think Dallas Mavericks is going to be part of that top 6 in the Western Conference.
Top 6?
Part of that top 6 for sure.
In the West?
In the West, yeah.
Really? I'm interested.
Yeah.
So you actually put Dallas in the top 6 in the West?
They're going to outrun the Clippers, and they're going to outrun Phoenix for sure. That's not a question. But Clippers is going to be that biggest argument.
Okay.
Like, hey, how about the Clippers? I feel like, as we mentioned, there's a lot going on over there. What they have going on could impact their game a little more than any other team for sure.
I mean, the West is pretty. Like I mentioned, the West is a beast out there. But okay, your take is you'd have them
You got Klay
on the 6.
Thompson.
They do have Klay
Come on,
Thompson,
dude.
Cooper Flag.
Come on.
I'm just a little weary right now because I'm not too sure how Cooper Flag can perform right now. It's his rookie season. It's
Yeah.
not like he's a Wemby, you know.
As long as he's not a Ben Simmons.
Yeah, we're not going to talk.
As long as
we
he's
can't.
not a
Ben
Ben
Simmons
Simmons,
isn't
we're
going to talk about our whole podcast. He's not. We're not covering him. We're done with him. All right.
We're done.
We're done with
You're
Ben.
right. You're right. No, but I think Dallas is a competitive team overall. I like their energy. I think they're finally getting over that Luka trade situation.
Yeah, that was
they
crazy.
added enough drama and enough shit to go on their team that we
agree.
can forget about the Luka stuff and allow Luka to rest up in the Lakers. But I'm happy for Dallas and
Dallas. I mean, I said it. I said it when they did the trade, and now people thought I was crazy for it. But I thought that Dallas was pretty. The trade was crazy. Obviously, getting rid of Luka, a franchise player, anyone could argue, and having Anthony Davis, it was definitely a questionable trade for sure. Probably never before seen. May not happen something like that again. But I argued that the Anthony Davis pickup was actually solid pickup.
agree.
You have Kyrie Irving and obviously I assume if everyone's healthy, but you have a Kyrie Irving healthy, Anthony Davis, Daniel Gafford. I mean, that puts Anthony Davis at the power forward position, the position that he truly wants to play, not the 5. So I really thought that was going to be good. And now having Cooper Flag on there, I mean, I guess I see your point. Definitely could see them at a top 6.
Yeah,
for sure.
sure.
And then we talked about the West. I mean, let's not forget about the Timberwolves. Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man over there.
Ant-Man, and then they did keep some key figures who had some great performances in the playoffs. What you think about Julius Randle and Nas Reed?
A little bittersweet about Julius Randle. I
Right?
mean, he was obviously a previous Knick. He did his thing over there, but I like seeing him over on the Timberwolves right now. He's doing his thing.
He's hooping.
He's hooping. Yeah, exactly. He's showing that
hooping.
he's actually an all-star over for that team.
Yeah.
I think it's a good pickup for them. I think him and Anthony Edwards kind of feed off each other. It seems like it's going to be an interesting season to see. It's a question mark for me with the Timberwolves because who's their point guard right now? Did Mike Conley did he retire or is he still playing for them?
I don't think he retired. No, but I don't. Was he an impactful player for them?
I mean, he definitely was, and I think I remember seeing on video like when they got eliminated, seeing him and Anthony Edwards and Mike Conley sharing a brief hug, seemed as if like he was kind of hanging it up, like he kind of hugged him in disappointment, like yo, I'm sorry I couldn't win the chip for you, kind of deal. So, is Mike Conley done or?
I'm checking right now.
What does that do for the Timberwolves? I mean, I know they obviously had those recent re-signs, like you mentioned, Randall and Nas Reed.
He hasn't officially retired, no.
Okay, so he's still on that team. So
yeah.
they show somewhat of a role there. They're gonna show that they're not gonna be a playing team. They're definitely gonna, I would say, top 6. You can't count on Ant-Man, and Julius Randle is gonna hoop. He's gonna do what he does. Rudy Gobert is Rudy Gobert.
They drafted Jordan Behringer.
That's right.
John Behringer.
That's right.
Number 17th pick overall in the
Pretty
first
good
round.
pickup for that team. Solid pickup.
Is that going to be impactful though enough to?
I'm not too familiar with his game like that. Are you too familiar with his game? I got to see him a little bit throughout the season. Honestly.
Yeah, I would have to see him more to see what he does.
What position did he play? Does it say?
Let's see real quick.
I'm not too sure on his position, to be honest with you, because I mean, I'm gonna assume it's probably a guard position, considering that they did that trade with Nickel Walker to Atlanta. So I would assume that's what they would be. I mean. But do you think that they thrive even with this draft pickup, or is it going to be a little bit of a challenge?
I think considering the seasons they had, they kept a lot of their key figures. I think they may potentially have a repeating season as what they had last year, considering nobody gets hurt. I think that's the biggest thing. I don't believe that Minnesota can afford injuries like some other teams can. I don't think that they have the experience to be able to stay strong during injuries now.
It's going to be hard for them, honestly. I think the Timberwolves may have a little bit of a tough matchup. If anything, I did say top 6. Maybe they're at that 6th spot. They could potentially fall into the play-in because, again, the Western Conference is definitely a difficult conference to play in right now. I got those stats pulled up here on that guy was Joan Behringer
He's
here.
6'11". I saw right there.
That's a tall dude.
Yeah, he'll be playing the center position
Okay.
for Minnesota.
So some help for Rudy Gobert, I guess.
Yeah,
Miles Green will be
I
out there
did.
too.
Yeah, didn't keep in mind also Rudy Gobert that they have
Yeah,
there.
so he's still there. He's still gonna do what Rudy Gobert does. I mean, he adds height, which is obviously always gonna be a problem when you're
Height
going in the
threat,
paint. He's gonna I mean,
He could
arguably,
hurt you.
well, however you feel about Rudy Gobert, whatever you guys feel about him, I mean, he does add some defense, something that Cat doesn't bring, for example, to the paint. So he's gonna be there. So having this guy on the team, Joan, I think that'll definitely help on the bench. I don't think he's gonna get a significant play time because I mean, I'm showing here he did some summer league stats, played 4 games, 23 minutes. Looks like he had averaged 6 points, almost 7 points a game, 6.5 rebounds. So I don't know if he's gonna get too much playing time. He's gonna be one of those guys that they have out there. If they have like 20, 30 point blowouts, they'll put him out there.
So
Probably.
do you think Timberwolves overall will plateau? Or do you think that they'll have a repeating?
I think they still need another piece because who's their third option right now? I mean, they got Anthony Edwards obviously as their number 1 option, Julius Randle the number 2. Oh wait, you know what? I forgot about Dante
They
DiVincenzo.
do have Dante.
So he might be their third option, but again, he's coming on and off the bench. You know, I think he wants to be on the starting role, but you know, you put him at the starting role, he hasn't shown that he's a point guard.
I think he might start over Mike Conley for this last season.
Maybe, but at what position is he putting him at the point?
Yeah,
That
at the
means
point.
he's going to have to facilitate. I've never seen Dante DiVincenzo facilitate the ball.
He's a hustler, so
Not with the Warriors and not with the Knicks.
I wouldn't put him past him. He's definitely a hustler. I wouldn't put it past that. That's something he's working on, or they have him working on during the
Off
offseason.
season, yeah. Okay.
For sure.
I can see that.
And you know, pivoting now, I know you had this one lined up. This segment is special to you. We got the we got the WNBA.
This whole podcast is special to me. First of all, part of this podcast is not just to talk about all NBA because I'm sure there's going to be some female watchers out there. There's also going to be some male watchers. So all the people that are watching, we definitely want to cater to all. So WNBA is what we're also going to talk about a little bit briefly. They are in the playoffs currently right now. It is a semifinals. Little bit of a upset alert. The New York Liberty, they were eliminated. They were last year's champions. So eliminated, but hey,
just gonna talk about that team.
At least they got a chip. At least they got a chip.
I was just gonna talk about all the things they did too.
At least they got a chip. So can't be mad about that. But to move on from there, right now in the semifinals, you got the Minnesota Lynx, and then they got against the Phoenix Mercury, which honestly, Minnesota Lynx are looking hot right now.
I don't know, man. I think I want to go with that Phoenix Mercury, bro.
Phoenix Mercury. I mean, they did just take out the New York Liberty, so you would say that.
I think I want to lean towards Phoenix.
All right. I mean, we'll see, because right now I think they got that. I forgot her name from the top of my head. I think it's Skylar something. I could be mistaken, but she's pretty hot right now in Minnesota, so she's doing some things, and we're gonna cover a little bit more. We're gonna get some more details as the season goes on, as the playoff goes on. We're gonna kind of get a little more knowledge on that too as well. And then over on the other side in the semifinals, we got the Las Vegas Aces and the Indiana Fever, which is actually pretty interesting, because you got a Caitlin Clark going up against A'ja Wilson.
What you think about that? Who you think is taking that one?
I mean, that's a veteran. That's like David and Goliath right there, if you're not mistaken. I mean, A'ja Wilson, that's a big woman.
I hear.
I mean, she if I'm not mistaken, congratulations to her. I think she got another MVP. What's that make her, a 4-time, if I'm not mistaken, or a 3-time? No, she's a 4-time MVP.
Look at her, man. Look at them go. I just seen these girls next to rappers. I saw her next to Kendrick Lamar the other day. I was like, fuck. She's fucking tall.
Let me just verify that too. I want to make sure she won MVP. But before I do verify that, I mean, yeah, you got the Las Vegas Aces with A'ja Wilson leading that team. Essentially, she's a 3-time MVP currently right now. I'll confirm on that 4-time MVP just to make sure. But she's over there doing her thing. And in case you guys didn't know, fun fact, she's actually dating Bam Adebayo.
She won it 4 times. You're right. She's the first woman in history. So she's a
4-time?
First woman in WNBA history to win 4 MVPs.
So honestly, I got to give her flowers. Shout out to her. That's pretty groundbreaking. That's one of the reasons why I want to talk a little about WNBA, because it's kind of like
they're breaking records, brother.
They're breaking records. They're doing some things. It's not like how it was before. It's not just girls playing basketball. They actually They're doing some things out there. All
Yeah.
right, they're doing
No,
some
they
things.
are. They are. They're definitely putting their dicks away and going out there and going to work. For sure. For sure, bro.
Favorite for the title right now, though. What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Yeah, I know
I'm gonna
you.
stick with my Mercury team,
Mercury, you
bro.
gonna stick with the
Yeah,
Mercury?
I'm gonna stick with Phoenix Mercury. I
You're
think
gonna
they're gonna make
count
an
out Asia
upset. They're
Wilson?
gonna do an upset, bro. They're gonna upset this team. I think it's upset season right now.
I'm
I
honestly gonna
watched
have
my
to.
Golden State team go to dirt.
I'm gonna have to go with Minnesota.
Okay. Well, I'd love to see how that plays out, man. Like
I'm
I
gonna go with
said, dude,
Minnesota.
I love to ride with momentum. You know,
Okay.
we ride that championship
Okay.
train, baby.
Second question for you then. Breakout playoff star. I'll actually answer this one for you because I know I'll have a little more knowledge on this portion. I'm gonna go with Caitlin Clark. Obvious
Okay,
option.
well, you just mentioned Asia Wilson,
Yeah, but you know, Asia Wilson, she's she's like a
four-time
LeBron
MVP.
James, honestly. She's already been in it. She's done the work before. I think if I'm gonna see like a breakout player, I think Caitlin Clark might be
Caitlin
the
Clark
one.
for sure in all aspects. I think her
Let me
game.
let me double check because she actually might be injured.
No, Caitlin Clark for sure is making the most impact on and off the floor. That's what I'd give it to her. You know, I mean, this podcast is also about the coach's side, and I see Caitlin Clark out everywhere. And you know, she actually reminds me of Megan Thee Stallion. She is a real Thee Stallion, bro.
Yeah, I agree. She's a pretty dynamic woman in the paint, and she's also always leading when it comes to
How
points
tall
for
is
the
she?
team.
Like 6'10"?
6'10" is a little bit of a stretch. I don't know about that honestly. We're gonna have to find that one out. Asia Wilson's height is 6'4", so
6'4". Okay,
she's about Curry's height
okay.
essentially. If you want to give a little bit of a context and height, so
Is
she's
that? Do you
tall.
feel like there's a separation between those top teams from the rest? Like
I think right now the only team has a disadvantage of probably the 6th seed right now, which looks to be the Indiana Fever.
Yeah.
Obviously they got the rookie right now in Caitlin Clark, so I don't know how she's gonna really show out. Or no, not rookie actually anymore. I think it's her second season. Man, I gotta get my facts straight.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark
So
is
it's
her
her, I
second
believe it's her
season.
second season. So we got to see how she's gonna perform going into the playoffs. I believe which is her first playoff. So I don't know how that's gonna really show out, but I think maybe that's probably the only thing I could see is maybe they'd be the underdog team, possibly come up with some upset. But they have a huge,
Yep,
huge
second season.
mountain to climb going against Asia Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces. So I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know about that. And we already know that she won MVP. So we'll see how the playoffs pans out and go on from there.
Moving on to that EuroBasketball league going on over there. Some exciting things.
Got some
I
NBA
see.
players putting in some work in over
Yeah, I
there.
see Giannis doing some things out there. Luka.
Literally carrying the team on his back.
Yeah, yeah. I see Luka. Well, Giannis and his brother, Batman and Robin.
Yeah, Giannis and his brother. I almost forgot his brother who played basketball. What's his name? Thanasis?
Yeah, Thanasis.
I
Yeah.
think the only thing I've ever seen that man do that was great was when he did pull the Shams God move on somebody.
I've seen a highlight tape. It all looked like it was the same game though. It looked like one of those bubble games.
I
There was
wouldn't
no
be
fans.
surprised if it was different years.
It was like a highlight tape, just all the same game.
So I actually think they just re-signed him too.
Yeah, they had to.
Yeah, it was probably a
can't get-
non-negotiable for Giannis.
You can't get yin without yang, boy.
Yeah, that's true. Think about that. But hey, you got to give it up to him. He basically said that, hey, you don't put my brother on the team, then I don't play for you.
Yeah, that's pretty.
You got to look out for your brother.
That sounds pretty good. Yeah, he earned it. He earned that control for sure.
Definitely.
Um,
What do you think? I mean, do you think the impact, this is actually, I don't think this question's on there, but do you think that there's a huge impact in the European basketball that these NBA players get when they play in the European League as opposed to going into the NBA?
I think they get good exposure.
Okay.
I think they get so it's an additional exposure, and I feel like just very similar to like artists in the rap industry and the music industry, it's an add-on. So
Okay.
I think they're big mega stars here in the States. So to us, these NBA players are mega stars. But when they go overseas, they create a different fan base. You know, whether they go to China, whether they go to any other country, a third world country. I think overall is good for the league, just like the big three, which we'll get into, just like everything.
exposure.
Yeah,
More
everything, all exposure is good exposure in that case. And as long as they're not out there getting hurt, which with the exception of Giannis, I don't think all these players take it that serious. I could see Luka drinking, having beers, and then going to hoop. You know what I mean? Stretching out a little bit. So, but obviously, as long as they don't get hurt, it's positive for the league.
I agree. I think what it does, it also allows some of these players to go over to another industry, kind of so to speak, for lack of a better word, and uh, add more to their bag.
Yeah.
I think I think players like, for example, we talked about Patrick Beverley. He played European basketball and he actually added more to his bag as well. A lot of players actually went to the European League and actually did really well over there, came over and added to their bag. So
I used to think the European League was just as trash.
I did
Like
too.
people where that they double dribble and
I
they
did
like
too.
shoot air balls all day.
I mean, at one point in time, the Americans pretty much dominated when it came to
I
basketball.
guess that's the era I'm still living in. I still believe like
It's
the
definitely a
Americans
new
are-
era. I mean, we're in the league. We're in the league now where most of our MVPs now are all European.
Yeah,
And
it's
if
true.
not European, they're either
It's a good call out.
European or they're not of American born.
Yeah, that's a good call out.
Previously, SGA, Canadian born. Before that, Jokic, Serbian born. And then even before that, I believe there was Giannis. You had Joel Embiid. All neither of those American. So, another question is the American basketball way a dying way? The way they play ball now, or what's going on?
I don't believe it's going anywhere. I still think this is home base. But I feel like very similar like baseball. I think baseball is the only other sport where you may get players that are dominated from other countries, but it's still homegrown. That sport, you're watching it in the MLB, you're watching basketball in the NBA. I don't see us migrating and now having college players look forward to EuroBasketball and us as fans migrating into watching that more.
Okay.
At least for me, I personally see myself just continuing to watch the consistent NBA. And then when we have these off-season summer leagues or
Big threes,
or
the
cup.
BALs,
Well,
all that.
what's that World Cup thing or the
the cups, the cup that I think
NBA
the
World
U.S. Cup,
Yeah, the U.S. Cup.
something like
yeah.
that, I believe.
So
It's not the
those
U.S. Cup.
those
It's some NBA Cup is something that they do during the season, but I can't remember the name from the top of my head right now. But it's basically where they
play
compete for their team, for their country.
Yeah, every other country. I watch those, but
And it's not the Olympics. That's not what we're talking about either.
yeah, but no, and the Olympics as well. Like I watch things like that, but I'm not gonna focus while NBA is going on whoever's playing overseas.
Okay.
And I don't think that's gonna be a big market unless the pay changes, like how we see Abu Dhabi. They just throw crazy money at fighters and they
Soccer
get fights
teams.
happening that we can't get here in the States. So
That's true.
unless that happens.
It's a different market out there for sure, and we are, like you said, we're pretty dominant when it comes to the basketball market. We have a lot of fans that watch.
It'll
basketball.
take like 50 years to
But,
shift that market.
To kind of shift, you just mentioned Abu Dhabi. I mean, I think we actually have a couple of games coming up for the NBA. It's starting to season. They'll be playing over there, so
That's
a
cool.
lot of money going
And
over
we
there.
look forward
so
to that NBA, like we mentioned, about a week, right?
About a couple of days. I wouldn't say a week. I probably say a little over 10 days. Probably we got left before the season actually starts. But just to pivot a little bit over, we're going to go over to the Big Three. So if you're not familiar with the Big Three is actually an organization that's actually owned by Ice Cube. Ice Cube, yes, Ice Cube, the rapper, Ice Cube, the actor, Ice Cube, the producer, so on and so forth. They actually had a Big Three championship game that I actually had a chance to attend. It was actually here in Orlando. Not going to lie, it was actually pretty solid.
Yeah, I would that.
I think it was
A lot of people.
It was a lot of people. It was a packed stadium. They had it over at the
Do they change
UCF
the
Edition
structure
Arena.
of the stadium? Is the court smaller?
So it is actually half court.
Okay.
So they don't play with a full court. That's
So
half
what happens
court.
to the other court? Do they eliminate it, or
They
is it
actually
still
only
there?
just show just the half court, and they only play on just the half court, which is actually pretty interesting. It kind of gives you a street ball feel.
Okay, so do the fans kind of like close in around it? I've never been to one of these games.
The fans are, for the most part, are at the same distance as they would at an NBA game. Relatively, they are a little bit closer because since the court is half the size. So we are a little bit closer. So obviously, since it's half court, you can sit behind the court and see
figured that.
when they're shooting as
Yeah, I
opposed to
figured
when
that.
it shifts going back and forth
Right.
with the full court.
So
So
there's more chairs down on the floor level.
there's more chairs down the floor level.
It
I'm
looks like
sure.
a boxing ring almost.
Actually,
Except
yeah.
not
That's
elevated.
a great way to put it. Yeah, it's almost looking like a boxing ring. Maybe not that exact close.
yeah.
But it's a little bit bigger because it is basketball, so it's a little bigger. But you're definitely up close with the players a little more than you are in the NBA. Obviously because it's the big three, it's still up and coming. They've been around for a while, 2017, and you can fact check me on that. But I believe 2017 is when they actually started. So they've been around for a little while now, but they're up and coming. They're definitely showing that, one could argue that if there's players that aren't doing too well in the NBA or in other leagues that maybe are, thinking about retirement, some could argue that,
I like that.
going over to the big three might,
agree.
reinvigorate their career.
That's a good option for retiring players. And yeah, you're right. They did start in 2017. So shout out to the big three. I actually got to go visit or watch one of those games in person. I'm curious to see.
Oh, and your favorite player, he was in that All-Star game for them because they had an All-Star game in that championship. Apparently the way they run it,
talking about?
they got an All-Star game and they also got a championship game. But your favorite player won, MVP for All-Star, Dwight Howard.
Yeah, whatever, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah, fuck Dwight Howard. The fuck are you talking about? I can't even believe that guy's still working, bro.
But a little bit of drama here, a little bit of drama. We're going to do a little
culture.
Pivot. Obviously the name is Court and Culture. We talked a lot about basketball, not a little bit, a lot about basketball. Do a little bit of shift to culture. You heard a little bit about that Cardi B and Stephon Diggs thing going on?
Yeah, bro, we got some
something cooking in the oven apparently.
Yeah, you got some pregnancy there, man.
Man,
shout out Cardi B. She's a native New Yorker. That was some heat that came out there. I think it's like a 3-month, 2-month breakup with Offset. Has 3 babies with Offset and is welcoming her 4th baby with Stephon Diggs. Also,
it says 2. I'm seeing 2 kids with Offset. Is it 4?
Well, 3 kids or she has 3 kids in total. This is her 4th.
So there's another guy.
I don't know, but there's also Stephon Diggs. I think is bringing in his 5th child this year. So he had twins.
They looking at tax write-offs or something? What's going on?
No, I don't think there's tax write-offs after a certain amount of kids, and there's also no child support after a certain amount of kids with one woman. So, I'm curious to see what we got going on here. But hey, man, shout out to them. That's their life. I'm not about to get a clip out of this. So yeah, no, they could keep doing their thing.
Yeah. Shout out to the future, baby.
But we could move on. Actually, something a little bit interesting, man. I seen out there though. Have you seen them immigration enforcement, them ICE things going on? Have you even seen one of those arrests?
Honestly, no.
Those things are it's like vans going out there, just picking these things up like sardines.
Picking these things up is crazy. Are you referring to these?
Pause. Yeah. No, I'm referring to poor, hardworking class.
Yeah,
there's the hardworking. Because if we don't have the lower class, then we become it. You know what I mean? So I think
I think the biggest thing about America, and me being obviously African American and also being Jamaican as well, I think the biggest thing is that we talk so much about this country and getting out all the immigrants and everything, but those immigrants are the same ones that laid the foundation that we are here on. Exactly. So I mean,
they claim that it's national security. They claim that it's like public safety threats, but these are the guys that are building your homes. If it was that much of a public safety, how much would you allow them to go?
I think at one point in time, I even read that with California, that they're when you drive alongside, this is before the fire, unfortunately, but when you drive alongside, you actually used to see all the flowers, all the things blossoms. Now you don't even see that anymore because the gardeners that were there to actually maintain the property, they're gone. Yeah. And it's like, what are we doing right now? We're putting away our gardeners and sending them away to these detention camps for what?
Do you feel like that ISIS power should be reduced? Like, do you feel like they're overdoing it now?
They're definitely. I'm not really one to know much about the politics in the sense where I've never been a political figure.
I think they got to prove their case a little more. But I think we're just doing this stop.
I think they're just trying to come with a swift hand right now, and I think it's a little too much. I mean, right now we're in a time where we're supposed to be United States of America, which I feel like we've taken off that united portion. Yeah. Of the States of America. I don't really feel as united as a whole, essentially. And I feel like what ICE is doing, yes, we're trying to, strengthen our borders, which nothing's wrong with strengthening our borders. I'm all for making sure that whoever's here and paying taxes are actually paying taxes because, I pay taxes too. And I want to make sure whoever's living here also pays taxes as well. So there shouldn't be any shortcuts there, but there should be a system put in place for the ones that we do now find that are illegal immigrants, how long have they been here for? While they were here, what were they doing? We don't need to track it, but were they working? What kind of job was it? Was it essentially something that we would say is like, a good fit job, what they were doing that was good for the society that we currently
So you
have?
see those extra steps that you take as a person who's like myself, who's actually experienced the system. Maybe not to the aspect that they have. I've seen it firsthand, but I have not experienced it. But I've experienced it in my own ways. The system is broken.
It is, absolutely. It's
Completely
fucked.
fucking broken.
It's 100%
Bro,
fucked.
down to like I am all for criminal, like hard-nosed criminal that killed 10 people, doesn't like get it, hang him, right? It doesn't, whatever it is, a predator, a child predator,
The punishment
kill
should
him.
fit the
Like,
crime.
like get rid of him. But for everybody else, really consider it in a humane level the way you did. Like, I feel like what we're doing is we're generically treating everybody the exact same way you would treat a murderer.
I think what we're losing sight of as Americans, as kind of so you could say, is that we're all human beings at the end of the day. And I think sometimes we forget that we all are human beings. And yeah, obviously we got the good ones, the bad ones, and the ones that kind of stay in the middle. We obviously understand all of that. But for, as you mentioned, these good, hardworking people, honestly, friends that I know that are, maybe not were born here, were potentially probably here at 1 years old, to send them away just because of that they unfortunately were born in a place.
That's not their fault.
It's
That's
not
not
their
their fault.
fault.
And also, they're not doing anything that would warrant us or them to be pushing like that. Yeah, I just, dude, it is ugly.
I
They're
think
creating
honestly,
a bad rap.
I think
Not only are we
personally,
attacking other people, other countries, which we won't get into, but we're gonna go ahead and attack the same people in our
I think
country.
it makes America look two-faced. We've always promoted in the past, and I don't know how much we promote that now, but the land of the free. It doesn't really feel too free.
No, it's like
it's
use
more
it
of
and
like, who
lose
is it
it.
free for?
No, it's like use it and lose it. It's like they go ahead and use you, abuse you, and then they let you
And
go. And
obviously,
I get it.
I'm a tax-paying
You-
citizen. I pay my taxes. I do what I need.
You know what it is
But
for them, they get to attach into the spot, the rotten apples, and then say it's the whole, right? And then blame the whole. So, ultimately it's fucked up.
It is.
There definitely has to be some changes. I personally feel like the longer they press on that
it needs to be
wound,
more humane.
yeah, the longer they press on that wound, the uglier it's going to get, even if it's not those people being affected.
I agree.
I feel like bad karma is just going to circulate back for that. Quite frankly, who's going to do those jobs? I don't even know those people that do those jobs.
I agree.
But I just know that there are people that do those kind of jobs.
I know it's a job that I personally may not even want to do.
It may or no. I fucking know I'm not waking
I
up
know
at 3:30
if I
in the morning.
personally had to, if it came down to it, and I
I'm
absolutely
not
had no
building
one.
that damn road.
I'm not building the
I'll
road. But if
I'll
I got to
walk.
mow a lawn, I'm gonna mow a lawn. But if I
I'm
had
not
the
mowing
option
that
to
lawn.
not do it, I'm paying someone to do it.
I'm not mowing that damn lawn. Somebody else is mowing that damn lawn.
But that goes to show exactly what we're saying is that they're needed.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
by they, I don't want. Excuse
It's
me. I
not. It's not
I don't-
downsizing them. It's
I'm not
making
saying
them
they
look
in a
small.
sense like putting them in a specific.
But it's who America's
category.
attacking, though.
But exactly.
To be real, it's a fact. It's a fact. They're not attacking the rich Mexican. They're not attacking the rich immigrant. They're attacking the lower
hardworking
class.
ones. They're
Yeah.
attacking the ones that are just.
They're not attacking the supervisor.
They're
that
attacking the
got
ones
his
that
papers.
have the large families that are just really just trying to take their kids to school. Just trying to live the day out.
Yeah, I'm not.
You know what
I'm
I'm
not. I'm not for it. And I don't care where they come from. It's not just Mexicans. It's not just
Not just Europeans,
South
not just-
American. It's not South
And,
American
and,
only.
and even to touch a little bit about, it's not just the Palestinians and all that. I feel all races, all religions, and all that. I mean,
It's equal. And I
It should
also
be
feel
equal.
like keep your nose out of shit.
yeah.
Like keep your nose out of stuff. If you're not gonna be there to fix it, don't be there to make it worse.
I think we should stop sticking our nose in things. And when we have a country that we're in right now that we honestly don't even. We're sticking our nose in everyone else's shit. And I get it, United Nations. We gotta obviously stick with our allied partners. I get that, allied nations. Sorry, but at some point in time, we do have to look back and be like, all right, when are we gonna just focus on our actual stuff going on?
There's a
within the
lot of
country?
shit going on here, bro. A lot of
I mean,
shit.
we
We're not talking about immigrants. There's a lot of other shit going on.
And we'll get
here
into that in
that we
other
could
other
focus on.
episodes that we'll have too as well. But for the basis of it, really, the things going on with ICE, I'm not for it. I don't. it kind of gives you a time of back when we had detention camps, in a sense.
Yeah, and now that you're mentioning detention camps, on the positive side, there are actually sanctuary cities that are going against having ICE in their cities.
Which is great.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of states that are gonna have pushbacks against others, and hopefully this doesn't cause any type of civil war. But unfortunately, as history comes to show itself, like sometimes it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
I agree. I hope it does, man. Shout out to everybody that's out there going through something.
Yeah, absolutely.
God be with you. And I don't mean to get all religious and stuff, but just stay strong through that time. And
Absolutely.
I feel like that you'll get rewarded in due time.
Keep your head down, and just try keep to your family and your friends, your close friends, and stick to that.
That's a fact. I've actually, like I said, I experienced that firsthand, and I've seen people go through that in my close circle. I see how they handle it, how they handle failures, and yeah, just keep your head high, like your nose bleeding.
Don't let this be something that defines you.
Yeah, but now we can move on to last discussion, last questions.
What we got?
Culture Pod. We created this top 3 list, which one of them we went over already. It was that controversial.
Top two list then.
Yeah, so we got that. We had that controversial young Jalen Brunson, a current Steph Curry. But man, I want to talk about real quick. Should LeBron James call it a career? And we don't have to go crazy into it, because obviously LeBron James is on the other side of that mountain as well. We're not thinking of LeBron in his prime anymore. We know LeBron's going to retire soon. But should LeBron call it quits after this year? Or does he still got something in the gas tank for us?
I think LeBron should keep going, honestly, until he feels that he can't go anymore. I don't think he... before we started recording, I was thinking
he gotta fucking hang up that jersey.
I was thinking that he gotta hang up the jersey, man. Bro. But I don't think so. I think I'm just kidding. It's time for him to hang it up, man.
He's holding it back for a lot of players.
I honestly think it's time for him to hang it up. It's time for him to just not necessarily pass the torch on anything, but right now he's at a pivotal point of his career where he's really doing numbers that he's making new stats.
Yeah, I
think the other day we were joking about it, how they just make up stats for this guy. It's at the point where we understand that he's been in the league for a long time, and he's going to continue to break these records because of the fact that he's been in the league for so fucking long.
I'm curious if there's another record he's chasing. I just don't know about it.
It's going to be this next stat I'm going to see is for the 10,000th time LeBron James has laced up his sneaker. Like, come on.
Yeah.
How many stats are we going to get to see that, yes, we know LeBron James is the greatest of all time. Whatever you guys want to say, whether it's MJ, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, whoever your GOAT is, the man has an exceptional stat record. He's leading in almost every stat record.
There's no one that's going to catch up to him.
And exactly, that's the next thing. We all thought that no one was going to catch up to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's records, and now we have this day.
I think it took like 25, 30 seasons.
And not for nothing, he's still going out there and he's still thriving with his scoring. He's not going out there and showing that, okay, I'm an older player now and I'm going to give you maybe plus 10 points. He's still giving you 20 plus points at almost 40 years old. Excuse me, I think he's over 40 now. I think he reached it. So my point being is that I don't think he's going to retire, but he should though. I think he should after this next season. I think he's considering
it too. I think we'll stop beating the dead horse. I think he's considering it too. I think he's thought about it well enough times, and he's probably just waiting for the right time. But shout out to LeBron, obviously a GOAT, one of the GOATs. I think there's going to be rooms in the Rushmore for multiple, and he's definitely one of them to go up there. But to end the pod, Kahleel, I do want to challenge you and myself to create currently a top 5. And that is based off of each individual position, of course. So what's your top 5 players that you have? I could go first. And obviously, in that guard position for me, as far as in all aspects, You could talk about performance. You could talk about athleticism. You could talk about bag. You could talk about experience. The one and only, the only person I'm gonna give that point guard role to is Steph Curry. In that number 2 slot, it's that one was pretty hard for me because you got to consider when I was looking at it, that number 2 guard is also a sharpshooter, also going to be somebody, in my opinion, I would prefer to have minimal dribbles. I would have had in question a Klay Thompson, but given the fact that I cannot keep going with this whole Splash Brothers thing, I'm going to go ahead and pivot from Klay Thompson. And for that number 2 role,
So you got your number 1 right now at Steph Curry.
number 1 Steph Curry for sure, in that top 5 pick for sure.
And we're talking about for MVP. Who we think's going for MVP, or are we saying top 5 for you?
Well, top 5 of who's going to win for MVP.
For coming into the next season?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
But also considering like what they, because we don't know what's going to happen.
We don't know what's going to happen, correct.
Yeah. So it's
so
always
just so that we're all, the
consideration.
viewers are clear, and then I'm clear too, and then you're clear. So you want to know my top 5, and you're going to give me your top 5 of who we think is going to be MVP going.
You know
into
what?
next season.
I think we should do it. And we should do it player for player. So I pick my guard, my point guard.
All right, you got Steph Curry.
So you can go ahead and pick.
We got to go based off position. We picked one guard. Now we're gonna pick another guard and do it 4. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
All right. So for the guard position, I'm gonna go with. Honestly, I'm gonna have to go SGA. Honestly.
Because of his performance.
Because of his performance, I mean, and I'm sure people probably were going to think I was going to say Jalen Brunson, but I'm going to have to go with SGA just because he showed what he did last season was phenomenal. I mean, he led his team to a championship. I definitely was one of the doubters last season. I thought they were too young and they weren't going to make it all the way, and they made it all the way. Not only did they make it all the way, he won MVP. So I could see him running it back again. And
what's funny with Shea is, I think he's naturally a shooting guard.
I agree. But I think because of the way he flows on the court, I think because he comes off as a point guard.
And because of that team
and
orientation.
He's one of those guards I forgot to mention that's also taller.
True. Okay, that's a good pick. That's a solid pick. That's a respectable pick. Now we move on to shooting guard.
Who you got?
For my shooting guard position as far as MVP, and we could share it if it's not arguable.
That's fine.
I'm going to go ahead and pick Anthony Edwards. I think Anthony Edwards has the biggest potential to go for that MVP in the shooting guard position.
Okay, I can see that. Anthony Edwards is a good pickup. Let's see.
You're talking about athleticism. You're talking about team leadership. You're talking about dominant. And you're talking about also, most importantly for everything, is attitude. I really, I rock with that kid's attitude. Pause. He has a phenomenal attitude. Disregard the baby mama drama and the 17 kids on the way, but on the floor, he gets the business done for sure.
All right, I'm gonna throw. Actually, it's not really much of a curveball. I agree with you. Anthony Edwards is a solid pickup, and I'm not disagreeing with you in any shape or form. But on this one, I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Brunson, and I know he's not a shooting guard, but he's in that guard position, so I'm going to put him there. And the reason why I'm putting him there is because we saw what he did last season with the team that he had, with the coaching he had. I don't know what he's going to do this season. Obviously, these are all what ifs, but I feel that he was up there in the races last season when it came to the MVP candidacy.
I agree.
He wasn't top 5. He was top 10. Now, granted, top 10 last season, there was a couple players that played. Going into this next season, there's going to be a couple players that are not going to be able to play in that position that he's in specifically. So I can put him up there at MVP for sure. I think this is going to be a breakout year for him. Breakout in the sense where his scoring is going to be phenomenal. I hope no injuries, obviously. I hope healthy for every player, honestly. I think he's going to show that with the team that he has coming into the season, with the roster that they have, I think he's going to really have a breakout all-time highs for him coming up. So I'm going to put him at my number 2 for MVP.
Okay. And I'm moving forward to the small forward position. This one,
It could be any forward. Let's stick to any
yeah,
forwards.
this one was because again, yeah, with the forwards it moved around
They
like
move
as I
around
was
now.
picking.
Mm-hmm.
But one that actually stood in that role and honestly for me needs to stay in that role, Luka Doncic.
Okay, Luka Doncic. I didn't think about him at forward. I would put him at point, but okay.
Yeah.
You put him at the forward.
At that small forward position, he's definitely a 3 for me. I mean, the guy's towering at what 6'8".
I don't know. You put him. No, okay, that's fine. All right,
Plus,
Luka.
plus, Lakers got a guard,
Who's their guard?
Reeves.
Austin Reeves is their point, shooting guard. I don't think they're
No,
the point.
I think he runs point.
Okay.
And if not, LeBron is
They
gonna
still
want to
also
run.
have buddy Vincent Gabriel.
They do have Vincent Gabe, yeah.
So okay, all right, okay, I'll give you that one. That's a solid one for your three. All right, for me, I'm gonna have to go with you know what? Damn. MVP at the forward position. Oh. I feel like because there's so many people that play the forward position, I might leave someone out. I had a name I quickly thought of, which a lot of people wouldn't believe, but I don't want to say him before I think of anybody else in that position. In the forward position. Man, it's so hard to take out Giannis because he's at forward position. I mean, you can still add him in there later, I guess, but yeah. I'm gonna have to go with Jalen Brown.
Wow.
And here's why. I think, granted, yes, they don't have a Jason Tatum on the team, so they're not gonna have that dynamic duo that they have. But I think that this, if anything, is gonna be the season, unless he gets traded or something. This, if anything, is gonna be a season where he's gonna have to really show that he's putting the
What's
team on
Cade
his
Cunningham
back.
play?
He's over. He's a guard.
Okay.
He's a guard.
He's a tall guard though, right?
He's a tall guard as
Okay.
well. But I think Jalen Brown for sure. I'd put him in the MVP race only because you don't have Jason Tatum in
You took
there.
out KD. You took out Giannis, which as you said, you could fit him in
You
later.
could fit him in later for forward.
You could fit him in later. You took out which with KD, some would say he's probably gonna go ahead and go off because it's just about that time before lights is out. And
Yeah,
he's
but
also
the thing with
dominating his
KD is
team.
like the Rockets organization is interesting. I mean, they got a couple good players. I mean, Clint Capella came back over there, KD's over there, and we'll touch more on the KD and the Rockets and everything, and most likely the next episode. But it is interesting. I just don't see him having an MVP type of season just because of the team that he's around. I just can't see that being MVP type. The coaching staff is definitely there for sure, but MVP, it just. I haven't really seen too many people in MVP that are usually older win it, and that's why I didn't include him. That's why it was kind of tough not to include Giannis as well because I've never seen it. I could be corrected on this in the comments or whatever, but it's not a very common thing where usually people that are older, I want to say like 34 and up, really 33 and up, maybe that really win MVP like that.
We would have to go back and check.
It's
yeah.
usually like younger guys
yeah.
and whatnot.
I'll be curious to see what it is. Yeah.
It's something definitely to look up to look to see as well and do some research on. But I think that's the only reason why I didn't go with KD is just he'll have a good season, but I don't know about an MVP season. MVP to me is meaning that he's gonna be leading in at least scoring or in other aspects in all of the NBA, not just his team, but in all of the NBA.
I know.
And this is gonna be crazy, but I think personally, Jalen Brunson will lead more than KD will, just because of the role that he's gonna be playing on that team.
I agree.
That's the only reason why.
Well, also Jalen Brunson is a healthier, younger version.
Exactly.
Honestly, Jalen reminds me a lot like AI, so much to the point where
just without the explosion, that's it. That's the only reason why I can't is give him the straight to the AI because AI he can go to the paint, he'll dunk.
So
Jalen Brunson's not going to do that on you.
So how about this center position? Now that
we skipped the 4, we still got the four.
No, that was our 4.
No, what do you mean?
So I got Steph Curry.
Mm-hmm.
I have who was my second?
Anthony Edwards.
Luka.
Mm-hmm. That's 3. We still got 2 more to go each.
Did I pick before Luka didn't pick somebody?
Nah, there was no one else. You thought about Kate Cunningham. You asked me that question.
No,
but
no,
you
no,
didn't
no,
have
no,
him.
no. It wasn't. I was thinking when you were thinking about that. Okay.
Nah, we have 4 right now because I remember I mentioned I would probably put Giannis at my number 4, but it's your turn though. Who's your second forward, so to speak, that 4th person for your MVP? Who you giving it to? And just so that you guys know, he's got Steph Curry, Anthony Edwards, and Luka
Luka.
Doncic.
We're gonna go ahead and give this to Giannis.
Giannis?
For sure.
Okay.
Yeah. In comparison to every other 4 in the league right now, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to Giannis.
Yep, I'm gonna agree with you on that one. That one's gonna be quick. I
That's
don't think
unanimous.
I can't think of anyone else.
I could
On
see the
both
center.
sides.
I could see the center pick also being unanimous too.
The center pick is going to be very interesting because you got a lot of dynamic centers. I mean, you obviously got the new up and coming Wemby, and you
Yeah.
obviously got the veteran in Jokic.
Yep. And I was gonna go ahead and spit it right out. I was gonna pick Jokic
Jokic,
for center. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna have to give it to Wemby.
Wemby, interesting.
I'm gonna have to
up
give
and
it to
coming
Wemby.
Wemby. Okay.
And here's why. Jokic was close in the rates last season, and the guard that won it was Shai Gilgeous, which, fun fact, it's been a minute since the last time a guard has won MVP. I think the last time that a guard won MVP was probably Westbrook or Harden. Might have been Harden.
Probably Harden, yeah, after Steph Curry. Because
So,
Steph Curry won in 14.
My point
and
being, it's
15.
been a long time since a guard has done that. The reason why I bring that up is that a guard won it over Jokic, which we all can agree Jokic is going to go down in history as one of the greatest centers of all time.
Correct.
We can agree with that.
Yep.
But if he lost it to SGA, granted, Wemby didn't play all of last season because he had that injury. So I can argue and say that Wemby could have a phenomenal season and make Jokic look honestly embarrassing.
Wemby's pretty scary, bro. Honestly, I'll be honest
That's
with you.
unmatched potential right there.
I've been seeing a lot of things going on.
Untapped potential.
Also, he has like the attitude of Kawhi.
And we've never seen someone like Wemby do what he does. I mean, he's averaging almost what? Plus 4 blocks a game, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at one point.
The guy's pretty tall.
And he wasn't even playing a full season. Now imagine that full season, having a healthy off season coming in. How can
I
he
saw
not?
him in the off season out in Asia practicing Buddhism.
Yeah, and on top of that, this man is but he's flexible as hell. I mean, that plays a factor when you're out there on the court.
He's like a silent killer like Kawhi, as I mentioned, but he's a
like
hooper.
a mixture of a KD and a Jokic. And the reason why I say KD and Jokic is because
pretty interesting.
KD, because he can shoot. Mm-hmm. He's not a big man that that doesn't know how to shoot. He can shoot the ball, but he also as well can play in the paint and get those shots, those hooks up, just like a Jokic. Right. And then on top of that, he can assist the ball. He hasn't showed that he can assist like a Jokic maybe, but when you have a player like a Chris Paul on that team and another player like a De'Aaron Fox, which I believe Chris Paul is now on the Clippers, so I take that back. But when you have a player like a De'Aaron Fox who's going to play in that solid role now, and then have a Wemby.
We talked about De'Aaron Fox earlier.
And then I know someone else hopped on. They had Stephon Castle.
They did get another pick,
and they did just pick up what's his name, the son of the Harper, one of the Roy Harper. No, Roy Harper Jr. I believe is who they picked up.
I think that was it.
So it's gonna be exciting so those pieces are what's gonna allow Wemby to be an MVP. That's why I'm saying that, because of all those players I named, Wemby is the best one on that team. Second best is probably going to be De'Aaron Fox. So I would agree that I would definitely 100% see Wemby.
They got Dylan Harper from number two pick.
Okay, Dylan Harper. I said Roy.
From Rutgers.
So
Carter Bryant.
I think definitely that that Wemby could be up there, and I think he can beat out Jokic if he's healthy. I think he could beat out Jokic in the MVP race.
They also signed Luke Cornett.
Oh, really?
Standing at 7'2" center.
Luke Cornett was the guy.
4-year, $41 million.
He used to play for the Celtics.
What are we doing? Building the Twin Towers?
I don't know. It's pretty tall over there. At one point, there was talk that they were going to acquire Giannis. So we don't know about what's going on with that, if that's a potential possibility.
That's crazy. So they got Bismack Biyombo, re-signed veteran center, to a 1-year deal. I mean, Spurs are looking all right. I wouldn't put them in my top 6, to be honest with you. Not yet, as far as the West is concerned, but they're doing their thing.
You're not putting them in your top 6?
Nah. Top 6 in the West? No.
Why?
No. The West is the West. It's competitive. You still got to prove yourself.
I don't know, man. They got a dynamic team. I think Wemby in itself is a freak of nature. He's pretty much like a Giannis, but he can shoot better than Giannis. He can play defense just like a Giannis. He can cover all ends of the floor, pretty much like a like almost like what can I say, like an Anthony Davis almost in a sense.
I'd give it to him. But he's not.
It's kind of hard.
I'd give him like 2-3 seasons.
Okay.
2-3 years for them to be who they're supposed to be.
And then you got Popovich, who's no longer the coach anymore.
I know
but he did just move up.
That's a good transition.
In ranks.
And they have a lot of veterans on their side. Like they have Tim Duncan, who's still part of the organization.
If you're me, I'm saying watch out for San Antonio, because they coming.
We'll
and
clip
they hopping
them.
on that. They're hopping on that Wemby train.
We'll clip them. We'll keep an eye out for them. But those guys are Twin Towers. We can see them coming.
Yeah.
They need to watch out.
Yeah.
They need to watch out for the plane.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be an interesting season. A lot of things are gonna be wrapped up, and I'm excited to see it. But outside of that, man, I think
we got one.
I think that's it.
We got one.
We got what? What we got?
No, but I mean I did catch the flying thing, but I just mean we got episode 1.
I think that's episode 1.
That's episode 1, bro. Well, congrats, man. It was great. It was great sitting here beside you, dude.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you. I really hope to see, not see, obviously, because we ain't going to see y'all. But I really hope that in the comments, y'all really go at it. And on top of that, we really hope that y'all can keep keep watching and could give us some feedback. Let us know what y'all think about the episode, or if we need to add more or add less. Whatever opinion y'all got, we'll take it into consideration.
Fuck you.
If we don't take it,
consideration.
You know what? Fuck you.
If you don't see it implemented, I said fuck you. Okay, because I saw it. Yeah.
With that, we sign.